For some people, it is just the money.
You do anything for money.
I caught one case that led to the Fed case.
How is you 7, 8 years old smacking principal?
That's when things start to go south. For most of us, we become desensitized.
You think that your sense of belonging, you're hustling, you're fighting, you're getting kicked out. Was there anger in you?
You think like, oh man, this is where I want to be. They get so much love, so much notoriety out here. But it's actually the opposite. We're actually out there because we can't get all that at home. I went to him, I was like, yo, bro, I'm trying to get right. And ironically, the minute he gave it to me, I come from back there after stashing mine and just so happened police pull up. The more we hang in the streets, the more you're desensitized to the peril. Everybody's story is different.
Yeah.
You know what brought me to selling drugs? Smoking weed. I went and took an ounce of hard to somebody. After I did it, called him, I said, yo, he said, what's up? I said, yo, I just bust the whole move. Like that? He was like, yeah, nigga, you back. And one thing I learned from the people that it was just about money, they went and got the money and left it alone. But when you doing everything else, you can't tell me it's about money.
Anything for money.
Welcome to Crime Pays, the #1 personal development podcast for formerly incarcerated men and women and their families. We take people that were behind the wall and show you how they were able to thrive beyond the wall. I am Ash Cash, the financial motivator.
I'm Jay White, first name, last name, the #1 federal government contracting coach and mentor. Yo, you with the beyond the wall,
Yeah.
you added that. That's nice.
That's fire.
Because that's real.
That's it, right? Thriving beyond the wall.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
because that's
saying?
exactly
Like-
what we're talking about.
Exactly.
We're talking about the fascination of,
Yeah.
but more importantly, the triumph story after the fact.
After the fact,
You know what I mean?
after the
Yeah.
fact. And, one of the things, growing up in the streets and hearing, all of these stories, they always be like, yo, you can't beat the feds, B.
Yeah.
If you get a Fed charge, just
Hang it up.
Just hang it up.
They think it's over.
Just hang it up.
Yeah.
But I got a guy
Yes, sir, Ski.
who went 10 toes, who went pound for pound with the feds, gave that time back, and now is out here building wealth for himself, but building wealth for the whole community. My brother Santino Wise Money, Newark, New Jersey, Brick City, in the building.
Santino Wise Money. Welcome, sir.
Somewhere around there, not exactly, because I don't want Newark to get that twisted.
Oh, yeah.
New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Okay.
Although I do rep Newark,
Yeah.
you gotta rep Newark.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the
Yes,
most
sir.
important
Yes, sir.
town in
Yes,
Jersey, city in Jersey. So yeah, definitely, man.
So-
shout out to New Brunswick, man.
Word. So we met out the country.
Yeah.
We was it Cancun or
Cancun,
was
Mexico.
So we was in Mexico, and I was with my family. I'm walking through the hallway, bumped into each other, and you like let me know who you were, and I loved your story from the jump.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's fire. And then, we kept in contact, and we always, I always said that, yeah, man, we definitely gotta highlight, what you got going on. But since then, though, I've been seeing you cooking. I've been seeing what you're doing for our community as it relates to helping us build true wealth through options, through the stock market. And so I love that. And so I want to talk about, because you have a fascinating story. But let's just start off with the intro, man. Who said Santino Wise Money?
Just a middle-aged young man. You ever heard of that before? Middle-aged young man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just a middle-aged young man. Just going through some things, a product of what he been through, how he came up, and how he transitioned past that. Because I just feel like it's never what we go through; it's how we come out on the other side, right? Yeah. I'm just a person, with a long tail of I should have did this a long time ago, right? And some people say, no, you do things when you're supposed to. That's not true. You do things according to the decisions you make. So my decisions prolong my process. The process was always there. I'm a firm believer in your script is written for you, but you can veer off from it too and end up going from a starting cast member down to a supporting actor. It depends on what decisions you make in your life. Mine led me to ruins for most of the time, So like I said, I hail from New Brunswick, New Jersey. Been going back and forth to jail pretty much most of my life since 14. I got arrested with my first drug charge at 15, then my first illegal firearm at 17, along with some marijuana. And from there, it just turned to other things. You know, you supposed to go to juvenile prison for whatever you do. You opt out. You take the program. The program gets you closer to home. You go on a run from the program. Now you're home for 2 years. You out with your homies, and you're doing all of this. So this is the path. Like, it's like one decision leads to the next, and that's what it's been for me, man. A lot of incarceration. Fortunately for me, though, I was in and out of county jails, you know, things like that. But I didn't get my first prison stint until 2005. Where I lost trial then for a drug charge. That's all I know how to do is go to trial.
How old was you then?
I was 25 then.
Okay.
Now, by then, you know, all of my homeboys, they had already did bids in 5 and 10 years. They've been doing it since we was young. Me, I would go in and out. I would escape the longer term bid.
Yeah.
But this time I ended up doing 3 years. It was 2005. And what made this one different, now I got a 4-year-old daughter, you know? So that's what made this one different. So that's pretty much it, man. You know, I originally hailed from Jersey City, New Jersey, which is even a big difference from where I'm from now, New Brunswick. That's where Rutgers is, you know. But back then, when I was in Jersey City, it was rough there for mom. You know, single parent, 3 kids, coming from Chicago, no parents of her own. So it was rough navigating through Jersey City back then.
That's what I was gonna ask though, because like I was gonna ask like what was your childhood like that, you know, led you to a life of crime, if you will, at the age of 14.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like talk a little bit about that background, right? Like family life. Like what led to you just like running the streets?
I think for me, what I learned about me is it wasn't so much of the deprivation, no, lack thereof.
Yeah.
The lack thereof wasn't monetary. It was mom wasn't always able to be there emotionally. She wasn't always able to be there mentally. She wasn't all, because she couldn't be. She had nobody to be there for her. Like I said, both her parents was gone by the time she was finished high school. So she had no guidance. She trotting around the nation. Thank God, 80, she wasn't getting high. That was the last, it would have been it. I don't know if we talk today if she's getting high. I don't know what type of childhood I have then, but our lifestyle was like she was getting high, like, you know, 80s back then. You know, if you guys, I'm 47, if you guys know about then, the cheese van pulled up on a corner. So it was a different thing then. For sure. Like, they used to beat you in school. They used to, teachers could say what they want to you in school.
These kids don't know about getting paddled in school.
No, teachers called me retarded.
Right.
Teachers told me, get your dumb ASS out of here. They told me that before. So I don't think it's so much the deprivation of money, right? I think it was, you know, when the money's not there and the problems are so bad, like, how do you expect mom to really console the kids? How do you expect mom to listen to the kids' ideas and fantasies? Kids are imaginative beings. Like, we have to visualize, especially when you in those situations. You pour all your siblings, your brother and sister, they older than you, y'all in one room, you know, mattress. You know, barely, like, I ain't had a transformer sheet. I don't even remember no theme sheets or none of that stuff. I didn't grow up. I didn't have that stuff. So some of my friends had the Superman sheets and all that. I didn't have that. Like, I don't know where my sheets came from.
You the youngest, oldest?
I'm the youngest, right? So, you know, we out here, Jersey City, things ain't that good, Reagan era, you know. It was frustrating for my mother, very frustrated. I seen the nights. I seen the nights crying. I seen coming from the welfare, coming from the welfare building and didn't hear the answer you need to hear. That gets taken out on the kids, you know. And then just, you know, as a kid going to school with that lack thereof, and then you know, you get into school where it's probably a whole community of kids that's the same way growing up like you, but you don't know it. You isolated in your own world. So then the behavior kicks in. You know, things start to happen. You know, the language around the house in the black community, we hear a lot of F's and A's around our house. Of course, Sit your A down. Get the F out of here. So, you know, when we hear those things, for me, those were the things that ran me towards the street, right? Because I've been in foster homes. It got to a point where my mother couldn't really take care of us for that point where she needed a break. So she needed a break to go get her degree, something she didn't have. She needed a break to go to Drake. Remember the school Drake back in the day?
Yeah.
Like really, she needed a break to go to Drake. That was the commercial. Drake, give me a break. That's what it was. She really needed time, somebody else to hold us down. We ain't have family. While she did her thing.
How long was that? In the foster
Me,
care?
I'm a weird kid. Me, I escaped from the foster home. I was the first one to go back to my mother.
I'm
I
outta
was
here.
7 years old.
Yeah.
Took myself from across the city to the other side across the city.
Sheesh.
That's not even heard of these days.
Yeah. No,
you can't even picture your 7-year-old walking around the corner.
You know, kids
You can't
go
even picture
around
your
their
7-year-old not being in the backyard when you thought he was in the house.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
So no, I walked the whole Jersey City, midday hours, like 6, 7, turning dark, and I found my mother. My brother, he got kicked out. He was with some Catholic people, and he did something crazy with their dog. He got kicked out. My sister stayed with her people. Now, I used to go visit my sister, and my sister had it going on. My sister had her own refrigerator.
She was living.
The lady she was staying. The lady she was staying with wasn't broke. She had a Cadillac back then.
Wow.
Yeah.
She had a 3-family house in Jersey City, and she was doing okay. So she tried to keep my sister. When my mother finally got her thing together, that's when we came from Jersey City to New Brunswick. Big difference. You know, I see trees. I see the air smells different. You see what I'm saying? I don't see a vacant lot with broken bottles and glass tops over here, you know. Even though New Brunswick had its issues, don't get it twisted. It's a hood everywhere.
Right, it is.
But I didn't see that at that time, at that particular time. So just coming through that, man, foster homes, you know, mental abuse sometimes from different, not from parents, but out in the world. You know, out in the world, the 80s was different. It was different in school. I watched kids get beat. We had metal detectors in PS-15 when I was 7 years old. Like you know, like coming from Baltimore, y'all had metal. Coming from Harlem, y'all had metal detectors. It was a different thing. So I don't really think it was. I think the stage was set because I had homeboys and friends that I grew up with that actually moved on and never stepped off the sidewalk. You know, never stepped off into the streets. So I can't say that it's the deprivation that did it because their household was just as lacking as mine was.
If you had
know?
to pinpoint a time where you like, all right, I'm 14, I'm being fascinated or drawn in by something with the street life, was it somebody close to you? Was it just like, nah, I see what he's doing, let me do the same thing? Like, what was it?
And that's weird
really...
because my cousins who were older than me that probably was dibbling and dabbling in the streets, like they wasn't nowhere near me growing up. My mother always had this knack for moving where the city's block is. I moved to 125th Street every city I moved to. I moved to Slauson I moved to Avon Avenue in the North everywhere I moved to. So it's like, okay, you live here, you go around the corner. I never forget Dominican store Dino's. We go back there and play games. You could get bullied back there, you could get beat up, whatever, but you going to Dino's. You're going to get you some quarters and go to Dino's. Why? Because the action's there. As soon as you go there, your favorite drug dealer's there. And back then, they were like our superheroes.
Right.
You know?
That's right.
And unfortunately for us, that's who we had to look up to. You know?
Those were role models.
You know, because the people that was playing ball or did play ball and make it, they weren't coming back to the area I was coming
They
from.
was playing ball.
Yeah, they was playing ball.
So
the whole thing is you come around this corner, you hearing your favorite songs, you hearing Soul to Soul, you hearing Scarface for the first time, coming out these guys' systems in their cars and you know, and you see the way people treat them.
And
you look out there from a distance and you think like, oh man, this is where I want to be. They get so much love, it's so much notoriety out here, but it's actually the opposite. We're actually out there because we can't get all that at home.
Right.
You know, and I learned that all of us were suffering from low self-esteem. So we get things, come on the corner, and we either want one or two things from each other. We want to be hated on, or we want you to love what we got.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, or if you're a solid guy, you want people to get it with you. You know, but either way, this is to mask up everything we've been through. We all been through something. It may not be the same level, but that's what I realized. I realized we all got some level of trauma. You see what I'm saying? And I think that trauma is what made me gravitate towards those corners and also keep that covenant amongst those guys out there.
Yeah.
Why you think it's all my guy, my N-word,
Yeah, for
my
sure.
bro? You know, that's something I'm working on, staying away from N-word.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Me
But
too. I need to.
My bro, you know,
Yeah.
this, that, and the third. You know, that's how we feel, because think about it. How did we get to that point with them?
Right.
They never proved themselves to us
Right,
before.
yeah, right.
They never proved loyalty before. The people that is proving loyalty, you disregarding that.
Right.
Yeah.
But they share your pain. They share your trauma. They ain't even have to talk about it. You go to your friend's house. Your friend's your friend's mom is a crackhead. I had a friend that used to curse his mother out. Like literally, like he was talking to one of us, and I used to be like, how do you do this? And he's raised by his grandmother. Mother have no control of, like, this is what we get in the hood. So it ain't necessarily just, you know, we intrigued by money and all of this stuff. You know, it's a whole lot that goes into that pot of gumbo, you know?
I was the same. Like, I didn't, watch this. The way I grew up, so I'm born and raised in Norfolk, Virginia, then went to Baltimore, right? But I grew up in a good household, but the hood was around the corner. Yeah. That's where the action is. Like, I'm good. Like, Mom needs something to eat. Okay, cool. Mom, all right, cool. But when I go around the corner, and like you said, it's a dice game going on, or it's a fight, or they plotting on how to steal these rims tonight. I'm like, I'm in. I want, because it's a thrill. Yeah. My thing is, once I knew, obviously everybody knows right from wrong. Somebody can't identify that it's wrong at certain times, but you know it's a little off because of how we moving, right?
Exactly.
So, but when they started to talk about, you know, selling weed to this person to that person, I was like, nah. I felt like that was overboard for me. What made you, what do you think made you lean into it? And then kind of go into your mindset 14, 17, because you said you got a gun charge and a weed charge at 17.
Yeah.
Going to that mindset on how, all right, I caught me a charge at 14. Now I'm 17, I caught another charge. Why isn't the lessons kicking in for you to be like, all right, man, let me just chill?
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody's story is different.
Yeah.
You know what brought me to selling drugs? Smoking weed. I ran out of ways to trick my family into giving me money for weed.
Okay.
Now, my mother was poor, but she still had a job. You know what I'm saying? She could pop up $20 every now and then.
Yeah.
So I'm 14. I'm smoking weed. Got my little habit on the weekends. Everybody smoking weed. This, you know, Pooh Bah talk about how you roll a blunt. Redman talk about how you roll a blunt. This back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm smoking my weed. And then one time I couldn't afford weed. And then me and all my homies, we sitting there. None of us could afford weed. There's one homie that's with me that's older, right? And he been in New York already. He know how to go cop. He been doing everything because he been out there longer than us.
Yeah.
So he like, yo, man, y'all better get y'all some money, man. Y'all want to, you know, y'all better do something, get y'all some money. So God rest his soul, old guy around my way, Allie Bourne, older guy, called him Allie Bourne. And he was always getting to it. And one of them ones getting to it, fresh dude, BMW, stuff written on the side, all of that stuff, you know. And I went to him. I was like, yo, bro, I'm trying to get right. He was like, listen, you've been out. I'm not. I'm like, listen, I'm trying to get right. He like, all right, I'm going to give you a little something. And ironically, the minute he gave it to me, it's like this backyard we would all go to, everybody. It was probably like 100 different stashes back there. I come from back there after stashing mine, and just so happened police pull up. Boop.
That's crazy.
Just me, right? Just me, right?
Just your luck.
Yeah, just my luck. So the police pull up. So I'm like, they like flashing light. What you doing? Using the bathroom. Yeah, okay. Stand right here. So they say, how many of these stashes you want us to put on you?
Sheesh.
Or which one do you want us to put on you?
Yeah.
Give me mine. That
Right.
one Yeah. I don't know what's in it because I even
I know the quantity on that one right there. Yeah.
It's a little smaller than the mother ones you pulled out. Let me get that one right there.
Yeah.
So I go down to the station. Your first time, your mother come get you. I come back up on the block. And it was just one of my little homies was younger than me, but he was like older than me because he was in the street since he was like 2. Like he one of them dudes, like his whole family. He was like, so he saw, mind you, he 3 years younger than me. So he saw me and he said, who you tell on? I said, what? He said, who you tell on? How you get out of the police station? I said, my mother came to get me, man. Get out of my face. Now that was his older cousin that gave me the pack, right? So when his cousin seen me, he was like, nah, I already called down there. He ain't tell on nothing, man. He a stand-up dude. And from there, it was like, what does that mean? I didn't know about telling or not telling.
Yeah,
I
you didn't
know
know that was a code.
Once they told my mother coming to get me, what is there to tell about?
Yeah, right.
I'm not even thinking about it. I didn't even know I was going to jail. I'm thinking like my mother gonna come get me. Yeah. And that's what happened. Second time with the gun and the weed, that didn't happen. So yeah, man, I didn't know the rules. I didn't know the rules is the first time your parents come get you. The second time you're gonna sit down.
Even after the first time, there wasn't no deterrent. Like,
No.
damn, yo,
No.
I got jammed up.
No, not after you come out to the block and everybody's and the block is packed.
congratulating you.
It's packed. It's packed tonight, and it's
yeah.
packed. It's Joker's house like a Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
And yo, Sin.
Right.
Yeah.
Took me to the flea market. That's where we used to go get our clothes and stuff from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I never got a pack from him again. I think he said in his mind, "No, your luck ain't right.
Right.
I'm gonna reward you for not saying nothing, but
Right.
I'm good.
I never got a pack from him again.
Yeah.
After that, it was on my own. You know. Now, my boy took me to New York, showed me what the New York scene was about. At about 15, going over there and on. Obviously, you've been in New York with your parents, but not up in
Not this
not
side.
Spanish Harlem.
Right.
You know what I mean? You ain't been down on
Not the
1-4.
Oyes
Now,
on Broadway.
now,
Because-
145th and St. Nick.
So let
You
me
know what
tell
I
You
mean?
about to get him excited.
Nah, not
Soon you
excited.
said the word Harlem. Brother got Spanish in front of the top. He already up.
So first of all, when he said New York, and you talk about I knew what he was talking about.
yeah.
You have to say Harlem.
Yeah, ain't nowhere else you going.
All right.
Ain't nowhere else you was going back then.
First and foremost,
I'm going to Queens.
no way you.
Hey, listen, you might not make it out of there because that ain't where people go to. So that's more dangerous to go over there.
Literally, and I was gonna say the story like literally in the early '90s, towards the late '90s. I don't even know if it was probably in the 2000s too.
Yeah.
Yo, even if you was on Broadway, even if you did not sell drugs, they pulling up on you like, yo, Poppy, I got it.
Yeah,
You want it? Yo, I remember.
that's
Yo, I
crazy.
remember like
Yeah,
it was
that's
like
crazy.
98, 99. I had a hoopty. I bought my first car. It was a Pontiac Bonneville. We called it a Bonnie, right?
Yeah,
Blue cloth top.
At the
You
Bonneville.
know what I'm saying? Driving, and I'm looking for girls. Yo, you know how many Dominicans pull up beside you like, Poppy, I got it for cheap. What's up?
And you live around the corner.
That's
facts.
crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's how it was though.
Yeah.
But So for me, it was more the lawlessness, right? So if I believe that any normal human being, right, they could look at lawlessness in one of two ways. Either you want to join it or you want to stay away from it.
Right.
So some of my friends look like, yeah, y'all out there doing what y'all want, but I see this too, I see that. And I'm gonna stay over here because that don't look that good over there.
Right.
I didn't take that approach. I took that approach like, yo, I got the freedom to do what I want. That eventually led to an excuse to drop out of school. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I was digging myself in a hole of this lawless mindset that I don't want to, I'm getting comfortable with not having to do things. Now, mind you, my whole childhood had already been disruption in school the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even get to that part. So when you talk about being 14 and getting your first pack, it was a lot before that.
Yeah,
I done smacked a couple principals. I done got kicked out of every school in the city at that time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I was that kid too. And why was I that kid? For unaddressed trauma, right?
Yeah.
For the way, you know, you may wake up one night and you sleeping with some people that your mom know, and then the next day you gotta go. You know, those people, kids, they got shit that you don't got. You're staying over there and you see how they have and you don't. Like things like that. It's so much, like we can't really pinpoint it until we take that ride back and really look at how things was going then.
Yeah.
You know, and don't get me wrong, Mom Dukes is an animal. She did her thing.
Yeah.
With nothing. And like I said, you know, most women can't survive without that consoling or that aid from parents, from their mother, from their grandmother, their aunt being able to. My mother didn't have none of that. It was totally default. To this day, one of the, not because it's my mother, but because I respect food. One of the best hands down cooks I know. Again, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't always like that. I remember when it was hot dogs and macaroni in the box because you couldn't really cook like that. I remember seeing you teaching yourself how to cook things. I remember seeing that because she didn't have a mother, like that was cut short. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, for me, like, I think, you know, to get to the root of an issue is to really examine it and not just to place it on something that has generally been the thing, right? Yeah. So generally they say we broke so we go hustle. Yeah. Nah, that's not true. Yeah. Because you got to understand the shit that I put myself through out there. Yeah. You don't put yourself out, like, through yourself. You don't put yourself through things of that nature for money. Right. You don't, right. And you won't. And if somebody was to ask you straight up, yo, I want you to go do X, Y, for money, you're going to say, no, that's crazy. Right, but throughout time, as you become this person, you desensitize yourself to the perils of getting in trouble.
But let me ask you, though. So I agree and slightly want to challenge you, right? Because I have been in positions where it's only about the bread, right? I need money. I'm in a desperation piece. And this is the way that I know I can get a quick 2,500.
That's very few people, though.
You know what I'm saying?
That's very few people, because you got to think, people outside of this game looking in, you talk to your family. They don't know how I could do what I do. My brother can't picture himself. My brother got in trouble one time, that was it. Yeah. And that's my older brother. Yeah. I was in the streets. Yeah. My sister wasn't in the streets. My brother wasn't. I was in the streets. So that's the question I always had to ask myself. Why out of two older siblings did I make the decision to go out there? Because everybody got their own trauma. And your trauma is how you receive whatever you've been through. You see what I'm saying? For sure. So therefore, their journey was theirs and mine was mine. Mine led me to the streets and them coming to visit me. That's what it led me to. Yeah. But if I would have came to my brother, my brother, when he gets desperate, he comes and asks me. He don't come up with a harebrained scheme. If you grew up around it like you did, then you always know that that's a possibility if you ever need it. Yeah. But that's only because you were super close to it. Now, my man Roberto that grew up down the street from me that went to play baseball and didn't step in the streets, he had 17 siblings in his house. I don't know if they brother, sister, what. They had a bunch of people in their house. Yeah. And he still never stepped in the streets. Yeah. Why? Because the thought of him doing that is crazy. Yeah. You know, so for most of us, we become desensitized. The more we hang in the streets, the more you're desensitized to the perils, whether it's just you out there throwing rocks at cars. You get caught the first time, it's not the same the second time. You know? But then one time the mob dudes caught us and we ain't throw rocks no more in that street. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's what it's about. My first few times was taps on the wrist. Right. I had a mother who came to the youth house to bring me cereal every day, every weekend, and bring me the goodies like the kids get. Yeah. You know, but then I seen that kid over there that had the parents that didn't come see him. You know? Yeah. I didn't see him again. Everybody else, they all had the cereal. I was running into him throughout the years in the system. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
When you got hit in to keep going with the timeline, and hold on, let me say something real quick. How is you 7, 8 years old smacking principals? Like they bending down talking to you, just smack them in the face.
Bro, I was something else, man.
That's crazy. I'm trying to imagine, like
very defiant.
Yeah.
Now the first time I had a teacher, I was 11.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right,
I wasn't 7. 7, I was still all right. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, I got kicked out of school in first grade at 6.
Yeah.
So
And
it's crazy, but I also think, and I ask you. I know for me, I was like my dad wasn't around. So I was angry, you know what I'm saying? So I had an anger issue. Yeah. And so I used to always fight. So I got kicked out. I got kicked out in the first grade. I was 6 years old. I got kicked out in the 5th grade, 9th grade, expelled in the 10th. Oh, I was a fighter. And I feel like a lot of it was around me being angry. Do you think that you know, your sense of belonging, you're hustling, you're fighting, you're getting kicked out, all that, was there anger in you at all?
Yeah. Anger. Trying to understand why you gotta live like this. Yeah. You know, why I gotta be like this. But it's only a thing when it's a thing for mom. If we growing up in a happy broke household, nobody don't know they're broke because the love is the wealth. Yeah. The love is the wealth, bro.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yep.
You know? Yep. That's why, you know, some of us, you know, like you might have took it as, yo, I've been watching my parents work forever. I've been working. That may be your reason to get in the streets. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
if you listen to Meechanum's story, that's what he said. He said, you know, he got tired of seeing his mom and dad's. They came from a good home.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But the income wasn't there. And sometimes when the income ain't there, they think they're doing the best job raising us, but those issues, we see what's going on with you. And if we don't see it, we feel it. So yes, I was angry, very angry going to school, especially when your mother just woke you up in somebody's house, you don't even know who it is. You probably had the clothes on from yesterday. Like, that's how it was at a point, bro.
And another thing, though, too, is the opposite, too, because I had a homie who parents gave him everything. He had both parents. Parents gave him everything, and that just the light bulb that hit for me just now was I don't think he had love, though, in the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Because they was love bombing with money and
gifts.
gifts.
So they bought him everything, but they were never around, right? So he practically, like, he was raised with us.
Yeah.
So we running around. He got all, like, he the freshest. He getting all the girls, all that. But he wound up being a guy who jumped off the porch first and was getting to it.
Yeah.
Because and it wasn't money because he wasn't starving, but he was looking for love.
Exactly.
And he noticed that now that he got the money, right? Like his parents was providing him with stuff. He had the money, so he had the love.
Exactly.
Right.
He had the bikes first.
Not to mention, that might have been how he felt while y'all was around him.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm
I
saying.
know I got friends that I
Facts.
hung around because they had a lot of things coming up.
Right, yeah.
No, facts.
You ain't my man because of that. But once I found out that
Right.
you living like this, what's up? Let's go to your house. Nah, man, we ain't gotta go park. Let's go to your house.
Right.
Man, you got all this stuff I haven't played with yet, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, let's go to your house.
That's
So
it.
that could have been a thing. He could have been trying to preserve that love, knowing that the credit card was running short at the house. Right. You know, eventually you're a grown man, you can't get that, or a teenager, you can't get that same love no more. Yeah. But that's the thing, man. You know, for some people it is just the money. And one thing I learned from the people that it was just about money, they went and got the money and left it alone.
Yeah.
But when you doing everything else, you can't tell me it's about money. Right. The only thing that resonates to me is that you haven't understood how you work. Because never mind the game or the drug dealing is the object, right? That's everybody has, you know, ample right to partake in that if they want to, right? Yeah. That's just the stage. Like, why did you walk on it though? That's the question. Yeah. Why did you do it? And that's what. See, we get caught up in these cliches of why people tell us we do it.
Yeah.
See, it's easy for you to get caught up in that. I got so many brothers that I help come home, how they get caught up in that I can't get a job stuff. No, you can't get the job you want. You got to humble yourself a bit, brother.
Yeah.
You don't have no skill sets. You read 2 books when you was locked up, and you ain't got no plan. And now you showing up here parole with an attitude talking about you can't get a job.
Right.
Well, maybe you can't get a job because you went in knowing you can't get a job. Right. And I see that as an interviewer on your persona. I'm not hiring you because you ain't ready to you ain't ready to be hired.
Right.
You got to make yourself hire ready.
Yeah.
You know, you got to make yourself suitable for that job. We know certain jobs you just can't get. You can't be a civil service worker. Right. You know, nobody wants you there. That's cool. You wouldn't want your cop having a jacket longer than Florida either. Right. Talking about he here to protect you and your family. Yeah. You know, so other than that, that's a false narrative that I hate that's put out there on us, because the people that's putting that narrative out, you may care and you may feel like that. Oh, it's a shame what you're doing to them. They can't get jobs when they come. Stop putting that out there.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah.
We don't need you putting that out there for us.
I agree, yeah.
Because I've never had a problem getting a job.
Let me ask you.
I had a problem shaving my wants, my habits, and, you know, being a little humble to go get the job that I know I'm qualified for.
Yeah.
But there's jobs there. It's about what's your plan. So if you went from being a drug dealer to skipping to, no, what you talking about? I'm not working for no $10 an hour. You ain't got no college degree.
Right.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got no skill set. You have nothing, but you demanding right now a better job. Yeah. I thought different. Yeah. My mentality was this. Everybody said, Sam, you got this stock stuff, man. You're going to be all right when you go home. No, brother, let me slow you down and tell you something.
Stocks inside.
Yeah, I was fighting that, DJing 2 things, man. I was DJing economics and stocks.
But that's why I want to jump into that. I want to jump into that because you said, you got to make yourself ready, right?
Yeah, but this is very important, right? So people start planning when they get home. Yeah. You know? people want a job, but they don't have skill sets. So you're sitting here like, I'm not taking this job or I'm not taking that. And then you want to go to the system. Oh, what the system does to us. And they give us these jobs so we could go back. You go back, you'll be a fool. It ain't the system's fault, it's yours. I'm here to tell you that right now. If you go back, that's on you. It ain't on the system. Once we old enough to understand that a trap is laid, if we walk back in it, we're the fools. Not them no more. And you should really feel like a fool because that's what made me change. But we're going to get to that part. But that's just my thing about it, right? No, we can get jobs. We can get jobs. That felony is only stopping you if you let it, right? Because if there's no jobs, then you have yourself.
Yeah.
But with yourself, you're going to have to pick up a book. You're going to have to develop some type of skill set.
Yep.
I know a person making $100,000 a year extra with his career washing windows for pizza parlors. All he needed was a bucket, some Windex, and a squeegee.
Yeah.
And an LLC.
Yeah,
Do it right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So take us, because I definitely want to get into how you were able to get yourself released, right? Because you were sentenced to 22 years, and I want to get to that, right?
Yeah.
So you said the first time you're 25 years old, first time you have to do real time. Talk to us about that time.
So I catch a cocaine charge on a block, nothing big, you know.
How much work?
Little bit of work.
Yeah.
Like it's buying bus type shit.
Yeah.
Y'all call them direct sales in New York. It's direct sales. It's corner action shit.
Yeah.
You know, I've been on a corner a long time.
Yeah.
You know, what he say? I mean, bus moves on the corner like what he say? Like the Rail Reeves or something. They said it. That was me. Like I, corner guy until things happen and opportunities come, and then you find yourself in other places. But for most of my life up until that
You
case,
graduated from the corner.
Yeah. You know, but the corner's always there. That's where the love at. You can't hide behind your will all day. You know what I mean? You got to go to the corner at some point. I don't care how big you is. You know? When I was young in my town, I used to see Isaac Wright pull up to the corner. I don't know if he want me saying that, but anyway, you beat him, champ. You beat him. You gave back to life. The movie was great. Shout out to you and 50. But listen, I was young. 89. Muscle Kid Benz, the all white one, looked like Batman back then. Yeah, that was him. Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? But anyway, back to your question. I catch the state case. 3 years. I got 3 years because I wouldn't take 6 years. I went to trial. I come from a cloth of people on the corner where I used to always hear about guys like Skeety and Farad fighting their cases and being their own lawyer. And these guys are super intelligent to me when I talk to them. So that's what cloth I cut from. I was cut from. So immediately, not even knowing what it is, I hear the older heads, I'm going to trial. You offer me time out, really is me not wanting to do a little bit of time. I'm going to trial. I can't tell. So what's your other alternative? Go to trial. I'm trying to get out of this. I don't want to go to jail for 6 months and do 3 years probation. No, I want to leave this courtroom today. That didn't happen. Went to jail. Like I said, only caveat about that is now I have a 4-year-old daughter. I got one child. And at this time, I think I'm the greatest father in the world. You can't tell me that. Besides the decisions I'm making, right?
Yeah.
But so that hurt, going away from her, going away from her mother at that time. Did 3 years in state prison, but I did 3 years in Bayside State Prison in Jersey. It's like the worst prison in upstate New York. They all got this little group they got with the babies on the arm hanging from the trees and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure you heard about that. Where the COs got, the tattoos on their arm, upstate New York, downstate New Jersey.
Okay.
Where they got black babies hanging from the tree and all of that.
That's crazy.
It's that type of mode. It's very, 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 very redneck, very racist. And I was there, and that was my first experience with state prison.
Okay.
And I didn't want to experience it again because of them. Like they killed 2 or 3 people while I was down there. The police, they urged my people to kill their own down there, like giving them little perks and stuff. Like I watched them kill a dude for writing the police up because they was doing something wrong to us. And the guys, as stupid as they are, they let the CO put a battery in their back who don't care nothing about them. So that's what type of place that was. That's not me.
I'm reading books in there? Or
no, I'm doing that.
That's my
first time that I started my quest for elevation.
Got you.
The first book I ever read to get me on track as a young man, heroin addict, Mr. Kinney gave it to me in the county jail. He said, "Here, youngin, I want you to read this." I didn't even know the dope fiend guy read the way he do, but in the county jail, he got his glasses down all day reading. So he gave me How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And that was my first book that made me look at things different. Like, what's going on? So then when I did the bid now, I get Think and Grow Rich. That was my first book down there. So that started to open me up to think different.
But those are two of them ones.
As a man thinketh, James Allen, Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. It's a list of them, right? Besides like business books and stuff like that. So I overloaded myself with that. I had a dope ass mentor. He was from Israel. And he used to, because I used to get frustrated when I came back around the homies after I started that journey. I would still be around them in jail, I'm talking. But he used to always ask me, "Hey, Sam, why do you go around them?" And I used to be like, "Because those are my friends. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm passing time." He used to be like, "Yeah, but you can't never pull them up to where you're at. They're going to have to decide that. It's going to be you stepping down to where they're at." He said, "That's why you always come to me and they frustrate you with what they say. Because now you've been awoken."
Yeah, you thinking
and that's what happened. I'm woke now, reading these books. So anyway, I did the 3. I came home. It wasn't nothing, nothing violent on my end, you know, in and out. I'm that type of person. Like, I don't stick my nose in places that don't belong. So I get in, I get out. I'm not a sucker, so I ain't got to worry about nobody trying to bully me. I don't look like the type of person that you just going to do what you want to do with. So I always get through there with no problems. You know, contrary to the cliches that people think about jail. You can go through without, especially the worst jails. You can actually go through the worst jails with no problem. Because don't nobody want a problem.
You know the cliche.
Yeah. So the whole thing is, after the state bid, I did the state bid. I did 3 years. I came home with no parole, no probation. I've been rapping all my life, selling drugs and rapping. So I decided to do the rap thing again, which was a problem. I take myself through the school, and in my emotions, let's just put it like that. In my emotions, I don't want to go back to jail. In my emotions, I want to go home and be a family man with my girl and my daughter at the time, right? But my heart saying something different. My heart looking for excuses to get back out in them streets. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it was, man. You know, you come home. I was working in Nordstrom's, you know, started county college. Think about going to go get my degree.
You doing good. Old W-2.
But it was frivolous, though. It was false.
You frustrated?
No.
Are you mentally frustrated
No,
about the
I'm
money you
still
making?
used to being who I am.
Okay.
I'm still used to being who I am. And here's one thing I want you to guys to know out there, because this programs that Ash is doing is going to reach you guys. Like, this whole thing is going to resonate on you. So I want to say this to you, right? Stay away from the people that are not trying to do what you're trying to do while you're in jail. Because if you don't, you carry that energy outside with you. If you feel like it's okay to still be in touch with your man who getting busy, that's going to come back and bite you. In order for me, my blueprint was I had to eradicate that from me, period. I don't want to hear and in the feds, it was harder. Because in the feds, you have, like, if you're in a medium or a pen, you have to have some sort of camaraderie. Especially with your guys, you don't want to be the bright light walking around there either. Everybody trying to throw some shade on you either. I don't want to be the person, "Oh, you goody two-shoe, you too good for it." Because I still got street in me. You can hear it when I talk, but it's just my mentality, my decisions are not of street at all. You see what I'm saying? So that's one important thing for you to get with the energy you're trying to be while you are in there. If you think it's okay for your homies to give you money when you come home, if you think it's okay to take your homies take you shopping and all of that stuff, then you're still in that same mode. You have not yet come to a point of humility. You have not yet shaved that superhero suit and put it back in the closet. Now the next thing that's going to happen is your child's mother going to see that you got all those clothes. Your friends took care of you. Now she's going to want hers next. She wants you to jump back in the car right now. And what are you doing? Putting your back against the wall because you're idiot enough to think you are Superman. No, not saying. Y'all was good for 5 years and 9 months? Yeah, y'all going to be good for 5 more while I get myself together.
For sure.
You know, y'all was good. Yeah, well, y'all gonna be good. Y'all can't want nothing from me. I'm on your grandmother's couch, right?
Right.
Daughter, wifey, sister, I don't care. Whoever was used to me, because I had a lot of people who I shed that light on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
No, I'm not that person no more. I'm on my mother's couch, gratefully, humbly, with a plan to be there for 2 years. Yeah, real. No, get on my mother's couch 98. How you gonna do that? Go get a bird?
Yeah. Yeah.
Make sure your plan is realistic, brother. Because if not, you put more pressure on yourself. And that's just you wanting to get back to who you were. So my whole plan last time was in my head, not on paper first and foremost. I come home from 2005 to 2008 during the recession. Didn't know nothing about the financial crisis or nothing back then. I didn't feel no recession. I got a job when I came home. I got 2 jobs actually, right? And that one argument with the lady friend, that was it. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to live with my sister. I'm going to live with my homeboy. Guess what happened when I went to go live with my homeboy? The first night I went to go ask him, like, yo, I'm going to be staying here. Why you and such and such? Yeah, man. All right. Come on, bro. This is my bro. It's day one. You know what I mean? Again, mistake number 1. My bro getting busy. All-time high. I heard about him since I've been gone. Yeah. What'd he do? As soon as I come to his house, give me some bread. He was like, yo, we going to go out tonight, take that bread. I was like, all right. He was like, now mind you, I've been home. He treat me like I just came home.
Right. Like this your first day back.
So he said, yo, do me a favor, bro. I just got a car. Do me a favor. Get my keys and go take that ounce to my man around the corner. I said, ounce of what? He said, right there. It's on the scale already. I weighed it out. I went and took an ounce of hard to somebody just like that and didn't even think about it. And this is my first time home touching anything.
Yeah.
Just like that, I picked up them keys. After I did it, I came back. I'm sitting in his car. I didn't even go upstairs. I called him. I said, yo. He said, what's up? I said, yo, I just bust the whole move like that. Mm-hmm. He was like, yeah, nigga, you back. Pardon my language. He's like, yeah, nigga, you back.
Yeah.
I said, damn, I'm back.
Yeah.
I was back.
Yeah.
I was back first because I started rapping. I shouldn't have never started rapping again. I'm not a rapper. I'm a drug dealer trying to rap.
Yeah.
So my raps they become reality.
Yeah, for sure.
I started rapping again. Fed this, fed that. Ain't even no feds in my town. They don't even play in my town. Fed this, fed that, fed this, fed that. I'm home from 2008, 2012. I'm getting busy. By 2009, I'm out the house. I'm still taking care of my daughter, obviously. I go get my daughter. Yeah, I love going to get my daughter. I love going to go shit on the mom. So I go get my daughter, pull up in the car. Yeah, let me get my daughter. You know, I'm living in that arrogance, you know. So I start rapping, and that's when things start to go south. So right after I we just had paid Jim Jones so we could open up for him in Elizabeth. Never forget.
Okay.
2 days later, narcos come raid my weed trap. I'm selling weed at the time in New Brunswick. They couldn't get in that trap for like 4 years because it was in the Rutgers area by Rutgers University. And everybody up there like buying drugs and shit. So it's like college shit though.
Right. Yeah.
But we got the hood coming over there. And that's the problem. People do shit in the hood, then come over here and police trail them over there. So we gets raided. So now they come up in this apartment. It's a 4-family apartment. We're in the attic joint. It's like 8, 9 gangsters up in here. You know, I'm in here. I just get this call. Yo, clean it up. Get out. So I grabbed that garbage bag. I threw everything in there. I threw guns in there. I threw drugs in there. I threw weed in there. And what I did is I'm doing this, and I'm like, yo, what are y'all doing? Get right. They coming. I don't know what y'all doing.
I was good to say you doing this all by yourself.
I had a window with a fire escape in the kitchen. So you had to like crank the window to open it. Yeah. I cranked that sucker. So I took that bag, and I knew the law, the state law is that if it's something in somebody's residential garbage can, personal garbage can, you cannot take the lid off that no matter what you saw somebody throw in there without a warrant. It's not gonna hold up. So I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, throw the shit next door. My man Mike had the smoke shop next door, the Indian guy. I threw it next door. It hit his garbage can and fell out. I said, oh, it didn't make it a garbage. I kept it moving. Yeah. But now I'm saying to myself, why am I able to run out this back house? What is going on? What kind of raid is this? I know the raids. I watched them.
Yeah, they got the front, the
back,
back, the side. Yeah.
What's going on? Long story short, they wasn't supposed to be in there. They went on a tip real quick because they could never get us.
Right.
So they sent somebody in there that eventually, according to their paperwork, said, yo, I can't do that no more. I don't want to do that no more. So they only sent them in there one time. And then they went in there. But this is how I end up catching the Fed case. So they did end up finding something. They found a toy. We call it a toy 22 pistol in there. It wasn't a toy. It was one that you could break apart and like, you know, it was like a toy. You could take the barrel out, the pin, everything was about this big. They found a bunch of residue from us smoking weed, and they tried to use that as drugs. They found like manufacturing things, like not even manufacturing, like because that's not manufacturing. They try to hit us with that. We don't manufacture anything. We may be putting the packaging around it, but we don't make that either. You know, so they found all that stuff. I bail out, and now I don't have a trap house to go back to. But my homeboys, 2 sandbox dudes that I grew up with, they were always coming to the trap, and I knew they was eating in Pittsburgh. And they used to come, and they used to be like, yo, give me a half a pound, give me this. And I knew they was smoking it. That wasn't for, you know, they ain't need that. They wasn't trying to flip that, you know. So I'm like, yeah, y'all getting it. So one day they came, they said, yo, we heard what happened. What's good? What's good? So they know I rap and everything. And mind you, when I say I rap, I have my whole little town on my back. Like, like I wasn't just I could get 500 people from my town to come to your town. I probably could still do it. Let me try it one day. They ain't showing up for no comment. They not showing up for no financial stuff, though.
Just music.
Just music. But, you know, so I'm rapping, and you know, he like, yo, I heard what happened. You know, you might as well come up here to Pittsburgh. Boop, 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 boop. Now, I just caught a case. And the one thing I always dreaded when I watched my friends kept multiple cases while they're out on bail on one. That is something you dread. Like, I do not want to be like my man Tariq, who got 3 or 4 cases out there open. That seems stressful to me.
For sure.
Right? Here I am, pressing the line. So I'm like, yeah, so what's going on in Pittsburgh? They're like, I'm like, all right, let's go. So I'm like, yo, I'm kind of hurting right now, just bailed out. You know, took my trap, and took the drugs. The drugs wasn't there when I went back. The guns gone, everything gone. I don't know what the little homies in the house got it. I don't know what happened. I'm hurting. What's up? He said, all right, here, take this 5,000, and just we coming back to get you. All right. End up in Pittsburgh. Mind you, I just told you, the feds only existed in my raps.
Right.
Everything in my raps probably 95% true, except when I talk about the feds. I'm bringing the feds into my universe. Right? And here it goes. Because here you got some guys that's up in Pittsburgh getting money on heroin, and they telling me, like, what's up? I sold heroin probably once in my life. We always knew that that's the drug. They tell you that's the drug to put the most heat on you. You want to get hot, sell some heroin. You know? But
What year we around?
This 2012.
Oh, we still in?
We still 2012. This is when heroin is becoming a real issue too in this country, like far as opioids and stuff like that. So
they ain't care whether it was Nicky Bonds or them.
no, they didn't care. They didn't care.
You know what I'm saying? The Harlem cats.
That was going from straight from Vietnam. Now it's terrorist networks are tied to that shit now, according to them. So this is why they ain't you know whatever. But so now 2012 January. I'm going to fast forward. I ain't got to go through what we went through up there in Pittsburgh. It was only a 6-month run.
But it was good. For the 6 months?
It's beautiful.
It was, okay,
but we don't, like, that's neither here nor there. If you're selling drugs, it should be good. So I don't got to get into all of that. But let's just, you know, I'm up here with this new plan, with this new adrenaline, and I'm just knowing it's about to happen. The rap thing, everything. Because I'm this dude. I need $500,000 to start my own rap label. I'm also the dude that could have very well rapped for the people that have been trying to get at me and just, but I think I'm a boss.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So the people that was, I don't want to say names, it seemed like I'm capping, but there's some people that heard me, and if you heard me and you had a label, you would probably want to sign me too.
Yeah.
Because I'm good at whatever I do. I try to be.
Right.
But, you know, so I'm up there, I'm rapping. They doing everything they said they were supposed to do, you know. I ain't really got to do nothing. But I did meet somebody. I plugged somebody for them because I seen things wasn't the way they said it was. I couldn't just go up here and sit on my hands and let y'all give me 10 grand a week. It only went down for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That money was supposed to have been to take care of this, that, and the third. So lo and behold, never mind the story how things played out with us.
Yeah.
I end up in a hotel on December 31st in Steubenville, Ohio, right outside of Pittsburgh, with a kilo of heroin in it. So I got the kilo of heroin. Now, mind you, it was 3 of us in the beginning. Now it's just 2 of us. The 2 dudes is really cousins, but I grew up with them. But now they ain't seeing eye to eye. Dude like, yo, I don't even want to be a part of it no more. He was responsible for bringing the work up. So he was like, yo, you could go ahead, Sam. So now this is my turn, right? This is my turn. I done put my little team together. Just so happened, the team I put together is already under investigation. I don't know that.
That's crazy.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I don't know that, though. Pittsburgh is so crazy. It's such a sick place, like with the relationship between New Jersey, New York, and Pittsburgh, and then you got Detroit, is that it's a heroin city. They don't have drugs coming in there, so it's a drug market. It's a hub.
Yeah.
Whatever you brought up there is gone like that.
Right.
So the feds is lurking. That's how it is. So we in hotels that we don't know we shouldn't be in. I don't know that New Jersey and Pittsburgh have this relationship.
Right.
I'm with somebody that's up here with Jersey plates on his car. He obviously don't know. So lo and behold, that ran amok real quick. They got on to us. They was on to me, but they didn't know who I was. Being that they had felonies and that dumbass car was in his name, they were able to know who they were. And they found out they were cousins. Still don't know who I am the whole time, but it's me whose phone they're listening to and me who they're following. But they just saying, dark-skinned Hispanic guy because I'm with 2 other Hispanic guys. So automatically they already said, I'm Hispanic too.
Right.
Now they come in the hotel, they get us. It was crazy because I was just supposed to meet my young boy from Pittsburgh at a strip club called Cheerleaders in Pittsburgh where NFL guys go and stuff to give him a sample. You know, dope, man. Like coke, you gotta give a motherfucker a sample. He needed a sample, so they heard that on the phone. They heard him saying, yo, I'm here right now. Come on, bro, I've been here all day waiting for you. So I'm like, I'm coming right now. So when they said that, they thought I was bringing that whole box outside to him. No, not the whole box. He just getting a sample. So at the time, I was smoking cigarettes, and I forgot my cigarettes upstairs, so something said, I never used to keep keys in my pocket. That's the only thing I used to tell myself smart, like, yo, keep the keys either in the car or not in your pocket, because the feds could probably, or whoever get the key, it go right back in your room. So I go back to get the cigarettes, and I realize I left the key in the room. So I go back down to the front desk to get a key, and when I look out the window, they have my boy surrounded.
Sheesh.
Flashing lights everywhere. So now I'm like, oh, that's it. It's going down. I said, I had to look again because I'm at the door. Like, where the TV at, I could look out the door to comfort in. I'm like,
Yeah,
he got him, man. Damn, what I'm going to do? I'm in Pittsburgh. Me and him ain't from here. Working it. I gotta go kick the door in to get to work. If I kick the door in, they're gonna know that I'm going to get to work.
Right.
Like what to do, Sam? All right, get your ID off your pocket. I went upstairs, put the ID. The whole time I could have left. Whole time it was an entrance from the highway that they didn't know was there, and I went and looked at that entrance. But when I looked at the entrance, I looked in the hallway, and I didn't want to leave my homie out there by herself. I said, whether they get in this room or not, it's in my name. They're gonna get this work. So let me go down here now, right? Lo and behold, it's the feds. They're there acting like they're state police, like county task force.
Yeah.
They're not revealing themselves as federal officers at this point. So they take me to Pittsburgh County Jail, and my homeboy eventually bailed out. I couldn't bail out, mind you. I had the case in Jersey, right? So my arraignment for the case in Jersey was to come while I was sitting there pending bail for the Pittsburgh thing.
Yeah.
Because they gave us bails, because they wanted us to make us think that it was a state case.
Right.
You guys, feds don't pick up cases. I hate when I hear you say that. Stop repeating it. You don't know what you're talking about. There's no such thing as a fed picking up cases. What federal investigations do is they like to parade as state police until they reveal themselves, because they don't want you to know that it's a federal investigation. We all know, it's a different day when you come out and you say, yo, detectives out and the feds is out. That's a different day.
Yeah,
Detectives out, we still rock and rolling, cool.
Yeah.
Feds out, oh no.
Yeah.
They got phones, they got cable, they got everything.
That's right.
They got hidden trucks, people, the bakery guy, he the fed.
Facts.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't know. So we go. So this is why they do that, to avoid people running, right?
Yep.
Feds cannot pick up a case unless it's committed on federal grounds.
Yeah.
They don't pick up cases. States give them cases. And they give them cases because the feds could give you more time than they could at that time. So there's no such thing as a fed picking up cases. Pittsburgh, PA, the state, gonna give you the same time for drugs that the feds do. It's just you got a better chance of beating the feds.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
All right.
Because of immunity clauses and mandatory minimums.
Okay.
So you got a better chance of beating the feds.
Yeah, no, you got a better chance of beating the state than the feds.
Okay, gotcha.
But in Pittsburgh, their mandatory minimums, even on the state level, is the same.
Okay.
Gotcha.
You're almost the same as being locked up in the feds.
Yeah,
But except the feds, if you have a kilo of heroin, it carries 10 to life. If you have one felony, you are what you call 851. 851 is where if you lose trial, you are automatically eligible for life. They can give you anywhere from 10 to life if you have one felony when they classify you as an 851.
Automatically.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's the feds.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they give you an 851. That means you have a felony. It started with Gotti and them. It wasn't even really supposed to be for us, And if you got that one felony, they now 851 you. So that means whatever time you got, you can do life now. So at that point, I'm sitting in Pittsburgh County Jail. I have no bail now.
Yeah.
The feds have now revealed themselves, finally, with the warning from the guys that was locked up from Jersey and New York. Like, yo, man, if you go down there to that computer and they tell you martial hold, you already know what that means. That means the feds came. So I'm going back and forth to court for extradition and the case.
Yeah.
My boy who bailed out got me a lawyer up there. Right, unbeknownst to me, he was getting me a lawyer because he didn't plan on bailing me out. But that's another thing, right? And when I speak about them, I speak about them with absolutely no animosity. I need you guys to know that.
We can feel it.
The whole game is wicked. Telling on somebody ain't the worst thing you could do in the streets. Although we like to bump it up as that.
Yeah.
Everybody running around talking about the people that's telling on Lil Durk, but it's Durk putting money on people. Hey, what's good about that?
Right.
You're a rapper. Were you a serial killer?
Right.
You're a rapper. When are we gonna look at stuff the way it is?
Yeah. For playing. Yeah.
And if you want to argue with me, stand up against him like I did before you say that. I'm telling you, ain't no who ratted on Durk. That's not important. His family's because of Durk, or whatever, allegedly. So I don't like to get that confused.
Yeah.
I have no animosity towards them brothers. If I did, I couldn't be sitting here with you guys today. But they did go to trial and they did do their song and dance. And I went to trial so I could see them do their song and dance. Because if you don't in the feds, now it's just a mystery. No paperwork.
Yeah.
If I go to trial, I get what you call my jinx material.
You ever had animosity or you lost?
No,
it?
I did.
Okay, yeah.
I did. I had super animosity.
Okay.
I was trying everything in the world. I was sending friends to get at their women's. I was doing everything.
Yeah.
He got sent to another unit. I had the Cleveland boys take his clothes and take his Cartiers off his face. Like, you upset. But it was one guy, no capping, who happens to be Russell Westbrook, real uncle. That was my Cody. I'm pretty sure he got a few uncles, so nobody won't know which one I'm talking about.
Right.
But he told me, he said, listen, man, a heart full of hate creates a mind full of confusion. I said, what you talking about? He was like, I see you every day. You waking up, I'm looking at your facial expression. I'm seeing you on the phone. You off the phone. You doing this. You writing letters to people in other units. Stop, bro. He said, you're not going to find your way out of this. If you keep worrying about them, they did that already.
Yeah.
And it took me about 2 weeks. But best believe I got off of what he was saying. Because by the time that happened, I was already fighting my case.
Okay.
So by the time that I found out that they were doing what they were doing, that was like a year into us going to court. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they had us in separate places. I was in Pittsburgh County Jail, and they were in Ohio, the federal holding. So the feds can't bring you, if they take you from a federal holding, they got to bring you back to a federal holding.
Okay. Right.
Marshals can't bring you to a county jail. So they brought me back to the facility where they're at now. Now we're all together. So I showed them what I was doing. Listen, this was my fight. This is what I've been seeing. It's hard to fight. It's hard to fight because in the county jail, we had a kiosk, what they call on a wall, that you sit in front of a little metal bench. And on that kiosk, you order your food, you order your commissary, whatever you need, but the law library's on there too. So not only do you gotta find these books without the ease of just flipping papers, but I don't know nothing about the law. I don't know nothing about law.
So real quick though,
This
so when
from
you
scratch.
say fight, you're fighting your case.
Yeah, I'm fighting my case. We in pretrial now.
Yeah.
We having a bunch of evidentiary hearings and stuff like that.
And so what makes you fight your case? What makes you say like why not let your lawyer, do all that stuff? Like why are you doing research?
Well, because the first few times that I bought him something, he disregarded it. I didn't know what I was talking about.
Hold on. Flick that. You see that little bug right there? Yeah, I ain't know what it was gonna do in the middle of nothing. You know what I mean? So just
Jumped
get
on
rid
me,
of it
boy.
now.
We'd have got that. I'd have had to let you do it. I'd have had to let you run it, Ash. It's viral, baby. They'd be like, yo. You see the girl who her wig slipped. She was like, nigga.
Yeah.
Like we'd had one of them joints. We'd had to run it. Ash would be like, Sam,
I
come
was like, yo,
run it, Ash.
that's the trailer for the interview. Right
Ash,
there.
run it, Ash. Fuck it, Ash. Run it, man. Bug jumped in my face. So you asked a question.
Yeah, so what make you fight it, right? So you have a lawyer. So first of all, why did you like?
So I didn't initially have a lawyer.
Okay.
Mind you, they said the case was state. When they finally brought in the indictments a month later and brought everybody in, the guy I was in tune with from Pittsburgh, the young boys, my guys came late because they was from Jersey. They had to find them.
Yep.
So they brought them in late. But I got locked up in January, right, December 31st. The indictments went out in April. They brought everybody in, and they didn't get those two guys until May.
Yeah.
Right? So now we're all going to court, and they're not there for the first time, but my young boy there.
And what are they charging you with?
Right now they're charging me with Title 21, 821 drug conspiracy.
Okay.
They're also charging me with possession of heroin because they found the kilo in the hotel.
Okay.
So that's two separate cases right
Yeah.
there. Right? Luckily they ain't getting the trunk.
Right.
No, we had just took some work to somebody and dropped two guns off we just brought out there. So that would have been a whole nother thing. You don't want the gun next to the drugs and the feds. Forget about it. Right? So luckily that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I got conspiracy to buy, sell a kilo of heroin, and I got possession of 700 grams or more of heroin.
Okay.
Right? Because it wasn't a complete kilo. We had moved like 200 sleeves before they came.
Yeah.
It's one of our people who liked to test it. He'd say, give me 200 just to test it.
Yeah.
And when I say sleeves, I mean the bricks that cost, $200-$300. We call them bricks in Jersey.
Gotcha.
So anyway, they in the courtroom and they're reading off the charges and they're telling me for the possession, I'm looking at 40 to life. They're telling me for the conspiracy, I'm looking at 10 to life. They're telling me that I have 2 strikes on my jacket. I'm a felon. I know I don't. I'm listening to him talk. I'm just really gone like, yo, did this guy just say life?
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Like, wow.
So I'm sitting in there. You got 8 of us lined up. My young boy keep nagging me because we ain't just like on the street. Like we was messing around. Like I've gotten to know his mother, his girl, everything. We was 6 months. We got real tight, young boy. So he, yo, you heard what he just said? He said life, man. I said, if you let that worry you, you got a long ride, youngin'.
Yeah.
He said, what you mean? I said, I ain't worried about what he's saying, man. Technically speaking, I'm hungry. I'm ready to get out of here. I'm ready to go fight, bro. Because that's why I had to fight. So the lawyer that I had in the state, he come over with his smiling face, and he said, hey, and he was a good lawyer in the state. But good lawyers, like, they just become toddlers in the federal forum, right? So he comes over to me, he said, listen, you know, I know you already paid me. You know, your people paid me for the state. I could come in as your pool attorney here. You ain't got to pay me nothing. I'll take this case. He acting like he doing me a favor when really they get $8,000 from the rip for taking the case. Right. That's another thing. Yeah, they get $8,000 per case. So what happens is these prize state lawyers will come up
to the
feds and come and get that $8,000. They're not coming to fight. There is no fight in the feds. They're not coming to fight. They're coming to go get 10 or 15, you know, guys who got themselves caught up in this conspiracy, and they're coming to hustle just like we was hustling that heroin.
Yeah.
I was hustling that heroin, they hustling cases.
Yeah. And who pays them that
The government.
The government.
Yeah.
In the event you don't opt to go to trial, this is why they try to get you to cop out so fast. On top of the fact that you probably really don't have a win. They probably is right.
Right, to plead, whatever it is.
But, you know, because 9 times out of 10, they be looking at it like at the individual, too. You know, my lawyer even told me that. My second lawyer, I fired my first one. He said, yo, I could see who got what in them, bro. If I see you an idiot, I'm going to treat you like one. I'm going to come in, I'm going to tell you, you ain't got, because you ain't got no win, truthfully speaking. But if you want me to fight a no-winning situation, you better show me your effort.
Right.
Because people don't win here.
Right.
So now, you know, the lawyer asked, could he be my lawyer? I said, yes. I bring him on. Everything I'm bringing him, everything that I've been bringing him since I've met him. Like, yo, I've been finding out little things.
By you doing your own
My
law
own
library
homework. The
research.
one thing that made me fight, though, Ash, I kept looking at my search warrant affidavit, and they kept saying in there, a source of information was saying things that only the people there. That's like we having a conversation. And then they're telling me in the affidavit that they're hearing this conversation, but they're saying a source of information told me that we said these things. So I'm like, it can't be one of the two guys involved in the conversation.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? What is this source of information that y'all keep talking about? Shit keeping me up all night. I know nothing about law.
Right.
Whole time it's a wiretap. That's what the source of information was. So now when they get me in a hotel, they do it under presumption of wiretap evidence, right? Which they never had. We'll get into that. So now they arraign me. They tell me the 10 to life. They tell me the 40, you know, and they tell you these numbers to get you to cop out. These lawyers, if they get you to cop out, they get their 85, 8,900, whatever it is, and they line them up. They try to get 10 a month. Like it's a game. Like we trying to move 10 birds in a week. They trying to move 10 cases in a month. Don't be mad at don't be mad at them. See, the one thing is this. Once I seen that people were gonna hoodwink me in there, I would have been a fool to go any other route but with myself. If you see something, you have to see it. Don't act like you don't. It only took me a couple seconds to figure out that particular scheme, what was going on. So I said, yo, I'm not gonna have no win with this. Whole time I'm thinking, my daughter is 10 now, and she graduates in 7 years. I will be home for that. I was thinking I'd be home for the 8th grade graduation. That's the real reason why I went to trial. I wasn't seeing it no other way. So before I let you sit and just put this time in my pocket, you're gonna give me, I'm gonna earn this. So
Let me ask you a quick question. The young boy that's bugging you about, yo, you heard they said, are you giving him your confidence too, or is he just like, I don't know
really
what to do?
just wasn't
you know
paying.
what I mean?
He really
like,
couldn't believe that I nonchalantly was like, bro,
I'm hungry. You like, yo, I'm hungry.
I'm not paying attention to that. I'm really not. First of all, I'm looking like where the other two at.
Right.
I don't even hear. I expect him to do that.
Okay.
Because what the youngin' didn't know is I'm about to hear the same thing in Jersey. I'm facing 20 in Jersey.
Yeah.
I got certain persons case. I got guns and drugs together.
Yeah.
I got manufacturing charge. They said we was making the weed in that. You know what I'm saying? They lying, manufacturing. So anyway, fast forward, you know, the part about what made me decide the lawyer was totally incompetent, and if you can't see that he's not for you, then you're just not paying attention. You know, they only asked me once to cooperate, and I asked him, I said, well, why haven't nobody offered me time yet? Everybody else is getting offers, whether it's cooperation or whatever it is. Why? So he's like, oh, you know what? When you get back from Jersey, 'cause I had to go to Jersey. When you get back from Jersey, I'm gonna make sure that he has an offer, some type of offer. So his offer was 262 months. J. Mike looking like, oh yeah, that's a cinch. Add those months up.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's 30 years.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So that was his first offer. And I said, well, how about this? Tell him I'll take the 30 if he let the other 2 go. And I started laughing. So my lawyer's like, what are you doing? Why you think this is a game?
Okay.
All of you guys are a game.
Okay, because you already got a plan.
No, because if he think he could come in and scare me with something I'm going to do anyway, time,
Yeah,
like, that ain't how it go with me.
yeah.
If they would have never asked me that, I wouldn't have made the government my vendetta. I don't like the government. Not from that side.
Right.
I like them when they cutting a check or telling the IRS, chill, you taking too much taxes.
Right,
I like them
right,
like that.
right.
I like them when the market going up.
Yeah.
But that, you scare me, my bloodline tied to something different. My slave ship, I don't think my ship made it over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a different dude. You just messed the whole game up. You messed all your chances up. Because now, not only am I not going to cop out, I want to see what this fight like.
Right.
So I have very little to work with.
Right.
And
so that's the thing, though, right? You about to get the offer's 30 anyway, so why not fight?
That's all I got.
Yeah.
I got this little bit of things I've been finding out. Nothing you find out is what it seems.
Yeah.
So my partner had told, because he the one that had the paid lawyer, the real lawyer. He had a guy named Zimmerman. And Zimmerman was supposedly known for being the guy, the Pittsburgh Connect from Goodfellas, when Ray Liotta caught the case.
Oh, yeah.
Ray Zimmerman was that guy, the real guy's real lawyer. So my guy got him based on that. It's just stupid stuff.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So Zimmerman basically told him, I'm gonna put in what is called the writ of mandamus. A writ of mandamus is when you have no more fight left. They're not answering nothing. They're ready to take you to trial. So he put in the writ of mandamus, was supposed to have been our last ditch effort, right? Now he put it in, but it affects all of us. And it definitely affect me because the room was in my name. Now, let me tell you how dirty the feds play. So his lawyer must have told him, Thomas, if this, excuse me, I didn't mean to say his name, cut that out. We don't make them famous. In no way.
Yeah.
So he told him, he said, listen, there's like, if this writ of mandamus don't work, the only one that got standing to argue this case is Santino. I don't know if you knew that. This ain't the state. You guys get locked up in a car. You guys get locked up in a hotel. The only one that could argue that the validity of that search is the person whose name the room or the car is in. Unlike the state, it's reverse. I get caught in my man's stuff. I almost know I ain't going to jail. Long as he ain't telling on, long as he ain't saying his mind, like you know already. You know, like, let me get out of here, man. Unless the narcos want to be like the local task force want to be, you know, they want to be a-holes and say, nah, we gonna hold. But other than that, you always get away with getting locked up in somebody else's house or car.
Yeah.
Not in the feds. You have no standing. So that means even when I prove that that evidence should not be in the courtroom and it gets tossed out on me, it still goes to court on you.
Yeah.
It's not even fruit of a poisonous tree is what they call it. No.
Yeah.
Because your name wasn't on it. But it's not your dope, but I can charge you with it.
Still get the charge.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
So now he found that out. His lawyer must have told him, if this writ don't work, you know what you better do. ASAP. And one thing I will tell you, even on the smallest case, all of that stuff about witness protection, all that stuff is gone. There ain't been no witness protection. That's crap. Don't listen to that.
Yeah.
But they do go out their way to make sure that their man do what he was set out to do.
Yeah.
They do make sure that you tell in a safe manner, right? And what I mean by that is they set all type of stages up, all type of fake raids, fake CO got cut by a razor blade. All of this just to get my guy out so he could go proffer to the feds. And they do it every time. And I had a U.S. Marshal lady who I was cool with that was a CO there told me, she said, yeah, they'll make it look however the Fed said it need to look.
Right.
We got to make it look like that up here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Straight up like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So now they
Yeah,
telling
that's
on me. It's
Right.
just me
They
back
singing.
against the wall. 39-man indictment. three people from Jersey, 2 of them telling.
Yeah.
I'm the only one. I gotta hold it down.
Yeah, for sure.
I gotta hold it down. Could I have told? Yeah, they would have never saw me again.
The fact that you even thinking like that, I'm already like, I don't know how I be thinking, but the fact that you're thinking like, yo, I gotta hold it down.
I gotta hold it
yeah,
down.
yeah.
I gotta hold it down.
That's speaking to, you know what I'm relating that to? Your 7-year-old self when you bounced from the foster home and walked or however you travel, they find your mom.
Exactly.
It been in you. Yeah, it's the same. It's already been there.
Yeah.
That fight is there.
Her, man.
Yeah,
Okay,
that fight is there.
Right.
That fight is there. That's crazy. Yeah.
So the thing is, man, it's like at this point, those guys told my guys took my guys that the young boys, 12 and 13, 14. I mean, no, they weren't 12. Stu was 15. One was no older than my guy was 21. He just turned 21. And there was a bunch of other young boys, a 39-man indictment.
Yeah.
And so I would end up in the county jail with all them. I'm schooling them, trying to keep them next to me. So I give them some game, like, you know, before they make a decision to tell or whatever, like, yo, let me see what's on your mind. This is what I've been doing. What's your case about? Because we got different indictments. So they had a kidnapping portion of their case. They had kidnapping. And I was reading their co-defendants, which is my homeboy to this day. I was reading his grand jury indictments, which is what they use to actually get you indicted. It said nothing about kidnapping, but they're charged with kidnapping. So they lied and said they was charged with kidnapping just so they could get him to cop out to kidnapping time, which was 12 and a half years.
Dirty game.
So when my man go to court, I said, gee, there's no kidnapping indictment in here, bro. So he went to the court and he told our judge, Kathy Bassoon, I will make her famous. Kathy Bassoon, listen, there's no kidnapping in this indictment. She asked the prosecutor, yeah, so what happened? He's right, there's no kidnapping in this indictment. Oh yeah, Your Honor, we thought it was kidnapping. We decided to reduce it to 924C, which is using a gun in the commission of a crime. Yeah. So they got them boys, all them boys, by this time, they all took their 12.
Wow.
A 12 that they
924C for a juvenile do not carry 12 years.
Yeah, that's a super dirty game.
But they offer the adults. They're like my young boy that, you know, we got wrapped up together.
Yeah.
He ain't telling nobody. Nobody told but them two and some other young boy. He took 15, right? And it's crazy because he took 15 as the leader of the indictment. He was the leader of their crew. And they gave them boys 12 for kidnapping.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's the thing. So
And not to cut you off though, and this is a great moment to talk about why we call this show Crime Pays.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of people don't realize that these decisions that you make or the lack of knowledge that you have, right? Think about the lawyers who are getting that money.
That
That's
85,
right.
9,000,
Right.
whatever it is.
But then now think about each year a person incarcerated is costing at least $50,000 per year.
yeah.
So now if you get 12, if you got 39, taking 12 years that they weren't supposed, so you're giving time that they weren't supposed to have in the name of crime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now it's reversed because the system ain't making money no more. They losing money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like now what's your reason for even doing it? But more importantly is what is our reason for continuously becoming a subject of the system?
That's right.
We're going to be a subject of some system. Life is all about systems.
Yeah.
Financial system, prison system, you know, whatever.
system.
Education system,
Yep.
you know, housing system, all of his systems.
Yeah.
Right? And you got to figure them out. That's what you're here for. And that the person that figures them out are going to be the one that's okay.
Yeah.
Because if we knew these things about the law, I always say, Sam, if you knew what you learned about the tediousness of how hard it is to fight these people, would you have done it? No. If I knew the fight was like, yo, you gotta discover something to discover something to discover something.
That's my point, man. Like,
So what I mean is this: even if you find out that that cop is lying, that that Fed is lying, you now have to have a hearing to prove that he's lying. It's called the Frank versus Delaware hearing, right? It's a Supreme Court ruling where a guy cited that a cop outright lied, and that lie was material to the search warrant, meaning because of that lie, they got the search warrant. But this is how Franks work. So first you prove that the cop is lying. And then you got to prove that the lie he told led to the search warrant. So if the lie he told didn't lead to the search warrant, the search warrant's still good.
yeah, it's still valid. Yeah.
Prosecutors have total immunity. So a prosecutor could get caught planting something in your car. He has immunity, my brother.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Judges are lifetime appointment. Trump about to change that. So this is what you're up against.
Right.
And you're up against the most ambiguous law ever created, the conspiracy
You ain't
law.
even have no notion of know how hard the fight was. You like,
No,
I'm hungry, man,
bro.
but I already know what I'm about to do.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm not even paying attention to them because if they offer me that kind of time, I already had the conversation with myself, and anybody in here that say they didn't, they're a lie.
Right.
Anybody who say that when them people say, yo, we about to give you life, you don't question yourself,
Right.
then you a lie. Well, I ain't gonna say you a lie. You just rare.
Yeah.
You're very rare. Me, it came to mind.
Yeah.
You gonna tell? Man, fuck you talking to?
Right. Right.
All right, so if you ain't gonna tell, what you gonna do?
Then what's next?
You gonna fight.
Right.
That was just plain and simple.
Yeah.
I don't tell. That ain't what I do. That ain't how I was raised.
The fight was how long? 2.5 years?
Yeah.
2.5
2.5 years. Then I finally, I'm getting to that. So now, that's the reason why I fought, because there was no other way that I can get out of jail unless I fought. So it's either fight or lay down and take the 20 or 22 or 25 they was going to offer you, right? Or even the 15. None of that gets me home in time for my daughter.
Right.
None of that I'm taking without you giving it to me, without you forcing it to me. I'm not about to sit and accept that, bro. You out your mind. You keep telling me I got a felony. I know my laws in Jersey. I know I got to brush up on it, but I know what you're saying is not true. I'm not worried about you trying to scare me with that other felony.
Yeah.
That's how you got those guys.
Right.
So now at this point, I'm total rebel. It doesn't matter how much time you give me. Like, I'm at that point now. I'm at peace with that.
Right. Okay.
And I also don't ever think I'm not going to win. My hardest fight was waking up in the morning believing you're going to win. Amongst so much pessimism, amongst so much hardship and non-believers.
Right.
Like,
Daily.
man, I got dudes in there that got life plus 60 right next to me while I'm fighting. I got dudes. I know a guy, shout out to my man Joe Crack from Newark, Delaware, by way of Delaware. I know a guy who went to go open his sentence back up to try to get less time and got more time. Yeah. That's what the feds will do. Once you got that guideline, you leave them people alone. You go back thinking you slick, oh, I'm fighting. Yeah, but if your thing that you're fighting is based on discretionary decisions being made, you're hit. Right. So she gave him 20 more years.
Sheesh.
He had 20, she gave him 30 years. So he went in with 20, trying to get some time off, left with 30. She said, I'm going to give you what I could have gave you the first time.
Damn.
So this is what I'm saying. When you playing with these people, you got to know what you up against. I know it feels good getting the money. I know it feels good running around the organization. But if you're not going to get settled in your heart and your mind that you're willing to do every single day of your life standing on your head, then don't go do it, man. Don't go do it. I couldn't decide to go back to it because I know it's going to be the same scenario. I'm going to do life in somebody's jail and I'm never coming home. And who cares about that? They ain't going to put me on a Wheatie box.
Right.
When the stand-up dudes get on the Wheatie box, they don't do that because standing up is something you should already be. Nobody's here to reward you for that. That stuff my man saying about somebody was supposed to reward him because nah, you wrong about that, brother. And I can't wait to see him to tell him. Like, that part of it, you wrong about. You do some a-hole stuff for somebody else, you did that for
You
him.
did that.
Yeah.
No, that's you.
If you stand up and don't tell, you the one that did it. You standing up for you. I preserve my character, not nobody else's around me.
Right.
Because I know I couldn't sit with myself knowing that I partook in this, but I laid all the weight on you so you could go away from your family forever.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about. It's not about a code of the streets. It's about a little thing called accountability.
Yeah.
So you get stand-up guys, but guys still won't be accountable because the stand-up guy in there blaming everybody and their mama for being in there. Man, if that dude wouldn't have never snitched, how about if you wouldn't have sold drugs? Man, if she wouldn't have, how about if you wouldn't have sold drugs? Man, how about if you wouldn't have sold drugs?
Right.
How about saying
Right.
they never knew you? You drove 8 hours with these two dingbats up here to sell heroin in their town.
Yeah.
How should they treat you?
Right.
Should they open the door and welcome you?
Yeah.
You're selling heroin in their town. This is a time that fentanyl's killing everybody.
Right.
I wouldn't sell that to save my life, but
Right.
you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So these
yeah.
are things we have to know.
Yeah.
When you go up against that 1,000-pound gorilla, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So here's where they went wrong in my case. First thing is they didn't reveal themselves as feds from the beginning.
Yeah. You
There's a-
highlighted that.
There's a law called Rule 42B, where it states that the feds can go to a state judge to get a search warrant in a federal investigation, but they have to first see if a federal judge is reasonably available. Now, that's how they play with you, reasonably, because what does that actually mean?
Right.
What does that mean? A judge taking a crap and he can't come to the phone right now? What does reasonably available mean?
Right.
So they didn't do that. And then on top of that, after a couple hearings, they started to admit that they did it purposely. So the way for you to beat the feds is this. First, you got to prove that there's an infraction of the law. And then you have to prove that it was knowingly committed. Then you have to prove that it prejudiced you. So there's always two prongs you got to prove. And that's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough. So I stopped looking for cases where people won. I started looking for cases where people lost because there's very little cases where people won anyway.
Right.
Most of them are Supreme Court cases. You could use that already.
Right.
Feds is rough because we get locked up in Atlanta for whatever we get locked up for. When we go to fight the case, we have to find what is called case law. So you can't say this cop did this and just state it in the courtroom and think somebody's going to let you go. No, you got to state why that's wrong and state the case to back it. You got to have citations. So with that being said, right, you also have to state cases that come from your circuit. So in New York, New Jersey, and Philly, New York, New Jersey, and Delaware New Jersey, Philly, and Delaware is the Third Circuit. New York, Buffalo, the city is First Circuit. So in order for me to use First Circuit law in Second Circuit court, it has to be what you call a sister circuit.
Yeah.
So I think with Third Circuit, it's Cleveland and them is with us. You see what I'm saying? So it's the Sixth Circuit and the Third Circuit. So if I'm going to use something that's not Supreme Court law to prove my point, it has to come from a circuit court.
Yeah.
But what about when you get a situation that haven't been to court?
Yeah.
So what they did is not only did they lie and say they were state when they were feds, but they also lied and said they had an informant when their informant was a
Was the
wiretap.
wiretap.
Got it. Yeah.
So now you're not rendering a judge the proper resources to do her fair ruling. She gave you a search warrant under the pretense that you had an informant, because informants are always good. You see what I'm saying? But your informant the whole time was an illegal wiretap that you had running. You would never prove that the feds did a legal wiretap. That's the one thing they're not going to let you touch. Forget about it. Unless Trump changed something. That's the one thing that no lawyer, no matter how much you pay him, is going to argue. But my homeboy, shout out to Kool-Aid from Compton, yeah, he fought them people. And he made me see that from a light that I never seen before just because he was fighting. Out of a place with 600 people, 3 people in there fighting every day. Me, my man RG, and my man Kool-Aid from Compton. If it weren't for them 2 brothers, I wouldn't be sitting here to this day.
Okay.
Because it was Kool-Aid who was finding out shit. It was RG who was finding out stuff. RG told me, your search warrant don't exist. I said, what do you mean? He said, contact the Pennsylvania right to know people. I said, what is that? He said, if your search warrant exists, they got to have it on file down there. And if not, they got to send you a signed affidavit saying this search warrant don't exist.
Yeah.
If it don't exist, that's a problem. So now it don't exist in the county clerk building. It don't exist at right to know I got the affidavit. I come in the courtroom, we address it, in front of the prosecution. You know what he says? Your Honor, we got the paper right. I don't know what Mr. Drew's looking for, but our warrant's here. They play you like you stupid. Oh, that ain't a copy, homie?
Right.
I know y'all didn't get a warrant. I was sitting in that room with y'all. But see, I'm not going to say that because I can't figure out how to prove it yet. Y'all got rid of the videotape from the hotel already. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all called some judge around the corner from that hotel and got a warrant. I saw the whole play. And that's why y'all things wasn't lining up.
Yeah.
But even that ain't enough. So now I got the search warrant missing. I got you lying saying it was a state case, violation of Rule 41B, right? And I got the lying about the wiretap, which is a constitutional value issue. So two things you got to win. Either you're going to win rules or you're going to win constitutional amendments of value issues.
Okay.
Now, rules should become constitutional value issues. So they violated a rule with me, but the minute I could prove that they knowingly did it and that they did it, that it prejudiced me, it becomes a violation of my Fourth Amendment rights now.
Okay.
So now, after proving it, I didn't have to prove it, they proved it themselves. So the prosecutor got in there with his Boston University education, and he was like, yeah, this was an elaborate scheme by me and Agent Shane Countryman so that we can disguise the fact that, or put a cloak on our federal investigation as to not ward off any suspects. So we get back. I said to my lawyer the next day, I said, yo, did you hear him? He said, what? I said, we needed prejudice, right? We needed to prove that they knowingly did it. He said, yeah. I said, he just admitted it. He said, no, he didn't. I said, yes, he did. So my lawyer, he a dog. We used to argue. He's a dog. Call him to this day, Marty Dietz. Shout out to Marty Dietz. Listen, Stone Cold dog. Stone Cold hustling that 10 grand too. But if you know what you're talking about, if you know what you're talking about, he gonna rock with you. He would have rocked with you, Ash. He would have rocked with you, Jay. You feel what I'm, and he's a dog. And he don't like the prosecutor. He's not friends with him. They ain't talking none of that small talk. He know what it feels like for me to be sitting there facing life. I don't want to see my lawyer smiling with you.
Right, for sure.
No. Because I'm not about, when we leave here, we're not going to the same place.
Correct. That's right.
Yeah.
So now, he straight up and down told me, I'm going to check it tomorrow. And if you right, we putting in another motion.
Yeah.
Two things that happened that saved my life, that got me home, not saved my life because I wasn't going to die. But when those guys told on their plug, ironically and unfortunately, him being brought in on the case by them, allowed me to open my case back up. So what happens is this. If you two on the indictment and they supersede us and bring in Carlos, right? Not to put your name in that, bro, but bring in Carlos, now they do what you call a superseding indictment. So now the indictment opens back up. Everything starts over from the beginning. My boy RG is why I tell you, without them, I wouldn't be here. He tells me that on a pass by going to lunch. Like, yo, bro, they denied you. You know you could put in reconsiderations. I said, yeah, so I put him in. They laughed at him. Yo, bro, they just got the plug. They got Vega down there? Yeah. You know they going to supersede you, right? Yeah. You know you could put in all new motions. These ain't reconsiderations right here. You ain't begging right here, brother.
Right.
I opened them back up. I wasn't finished with my work.
Right, yeah.
They gave me more, and I hate to say it like that because the brother got brought in on that.
Right, yeah.
But that's how it happened. That superseding don't happen. I'm not sitting here right now.
Right, for sure.
I don't even get the proper points on record to come back on them.
Yeah, that's cool.
You have to get it on record, whether it's on paper or whether you're saying it on record in the courtroom or it doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now he comes back. I get to argue these things all over again.
Right.
And that's how we got him. He repeated that in that courtroom. I had my lawyer go play it. He played it back. He said, "You right. We got him." We go back to court. And this is what I think got me home, though.
Okay.
We go back.
Wait. You got to be feeling good. Are you feeling good? You still like,
I'm feeling the same way.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it. Hey, bro, I'm telling you, man.
No excitement, no nothing. It's just even
Because
kill.
at this time you're fighting it, but you have they've already given you 22 years.
No, this is pre-trial. I didn't even go to trial yet. I didn't go to trial yet.
I'm saying
trial was so fast because it's like my fight already in.
Yeah.
By the time I got to trial, I had my notebook like this. The brief was already done.
Yeah.
I just needed to get it to the whatever public defender they hire me after I lose trial.
Yeah.
But at this time, I ain't lose trial yet.
Right.
I'm still thinking I may get something off.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
You know, a little super optimism there.
Right.
Okay,
You
all
know?
right.
But the reality is I'm fighting.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to accept whatever it is they're going to bring
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Like, I've had that conversation. A lot of guys in there saying, you bugging, yo. I had to, like, fall back from guys for 2 days before I went to trial because I didn't want to hear that negativity.
Right. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get it. You concerned, brother.
Yeah.
My lawyer called my mother.
Yeah.
I cursed his ass, cursed his butt out. He
Yeah.
called my mother. For the first time, my mother get on the phone with me crying with my aunt. Well, your lawyer just told
Voicing
me
the wrong
you're going to
concern.
get
Trying
22
that.
years.
Yeah.
I said, listen, I ain't going to get nothing. I will see you. I will see you in 2 years. How about that?
Yeah.
And then I just started this narrative of seeing her in 2 years
Yeah.
or whoever.
Yeah.
I see you in 2 years.
Yeah.
I said, if you ain't never trust me on nothing else, don't you ever listen to nobody but me when it
Right.
come to me.
Yeah.
And she said, I got you, son. I know you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Right? And she don't know what's going on.
Right.
I called him. Why did you do that? He said, bro, you about to get hammered. I just wanted to call your mom and tell me, why would you stop my opportunity, bro? No, bro, you can still go to trial and still appeal. No, that's a conditional appeal.
Right.
I don't want a conditional appeal. So what happens on a conditional appeal is they're going to tell you what you can argue. Yeah, you can argue the wiretap because we ain't going to hear that anyway.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So why would I want that? No, brother. This is what we doing. You with me or not? He said, I'm with you. I said, all right, man, don't do that no more.
Right.
So that was it. He tried what he tried to get me to cop out. Truthfully speaking, too, they don't want to go to trial.
Right.
Although they get another 10 grand, that's a lot of work. So
Right.
now he getting 18 grand for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because he got to go to trial.
He working for it. 18.
Man, when he played, when we put the motion in because of what they said about admitting that they knowingly put a cloak on that investigation, Judge Kathy Bassoon said to me, Mr. Drew, I don't care what type of evidence you walk up in my courtroom with. You were selling heroin in Pittsburgh. You're guilty. I don't care what motion, it will be denied. And to this day, I believe that when the appellate courts got a hold of that term, that from her, because my case never went to appellate courts. They cut it short before it got there. Why? Because how many people they lied and said they had a wiretap
Right.
when it was an informant the whole time.
Right.
Or informant when it was a wiretap the whole time. So I got that case, Aisha McCain versus the United States out of San Francisco, California. Aisha got locked up with 140 kilos of liquid crack. And she beat it because they lied and said that they had an informant, whole time the informant. But she beat it in district court. I can't use a district court case.
Right.
District court means I'm in pretrial,
Right.
right? She beat it in pretrial. Another thing saved my life. Arrogant prosecutor, he puts in his brief. Guess who case he used? I never even knew about the case. He used Aisha McCain. He used a piece of her case to fit him when the whole entire case fit us. So I used his brief against him.
Yeah.
Aisha McCain, United States versus Cruz, all these coming out of L.A. L.A. is a big practice. It's a big practice in L.A., New Jersey, New York, and obviously Pittsburgh. If they had let that case go to the appellate division, there would have been a lot of guys coming home. And I get it, you know, I wanted to press the line. But when they came back from the 22 with the 7, I had to go because I already got 7 in.
Right.
Another 18 months, 2 years, I take the drug program, I come home. My plan was already set.
Yeah.
So lo and behold, though, let me just tell y'all this, though. The thing about it is they made it where I couldn't beat them. But yet we still found ways to beat them with their own stuff. If my guy wouldn't have got superseded, I wouldn't have won. If it wasn't for Kool-Aid and them just telling me about right to know and whether or not the warrant exists, I wouldn't have won. And if it wasn't for that guy admitting it on tape in the courtroom, that listen, we did this. This is how we did it. But my greatest strength was my optimism, bro.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing. I used to have people literally, because in the feds you can't avoid it. State, you know, you ask somebody about their time, you in their business. In the feds, nah. Your time is the thing of question. How much time you got? Yeah, I got 22 years, but I'll be home in 2.
Yeah.
I hate telling people that in feds because that sounds funny.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna ask me that and give me all your woes and your hopes, and my famous slogan was "Save the hope for the starving kids in Africa."
Yeah, yeah.
I got everything I need to make this happen.
Yeah.
I got myself here, I get myself out. Accountability, guys, is your strongest and greatest tool. Because once you know that it's your fault, it's no longer nobody else's fault. If it's not their fault, you're the only one with the power to change it. I convinced myself that I'm the only one that could get me out of jail. And that's what happened.
As a man thinketh.
As a man thinketh.
Yeah.
He becomes, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Strong book
Absolutely.
at 22 years old.
Absolutely.
Principle stuck with me all them years.
Yeah.
So lo and behold, I end up losing trial. They took the stand. I got 22 years. It only hurt me for the first, man, they deliberated for 30 minutes too.
Right, real quick.
And listen, it only hurt me for the first, I would say, 2 hours after hearing the decision, because I smelt the air. I smelt them because I had a friend who actually beat the feds on money laundering. And he had told us when he got home, when he asked the feds, can I use your phone so I call a ride? They was like, no, get the F out of my building.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said, bro, the feeling I got when I got outside after all that time, and somebody let me use their phone. So I smell that. I could feel that. And then I got disappointed. But it wasn't a big disappointment because I really didn't expect to beat him outright like that.
Right.
I knew mine was going to come on the back end. But the thing about it is, right, when you're in those situations, man, like a crisis will tell you who you are. And some of us haven't yet faced a crisis.
Yeah.
You know, we think life is hokey-dory. But when you do face that crisis, you will then know who you are.
Facts.
You know, and I found out who I was. A lot of people say what they will and won't do. We could always premeditate it, right? Until it happens.
Everybody got a
Like,
plan until you get punched
Punched
in the face.
I got punched in the face. I ain't had no plan. Just had a pivot.
Yeah.
That's it. I had a pivot. I had a nice little, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. That's what got me sitting here to this day. But beating them is not easy. That system was designed not to be broken.
Right.
And so real quick, so you get sentenced to 22 years. You've already been fighting the case for how long?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. At what point do you get your 22 years reduced to 7?
That's a good thing. So I already, you know, coming to the jail, I already, you know, I'm still fighting, right? I'm sentenced already. I come to Ferreton, FCI, Medium in Ferreton, New Jersey, right? Ferreton's built like a college, too.
Yeah.
Ferreton looked like 5 dorms. I swear it looks like Cook campus at Rutgers University, right? So you got your 4 buildings, 250 people each building. So when they let us out the van, I'm like, where am I? When the college, I'm like, they just let us go. Like, yo, you go to A unit, you go here. I'm like, just go. They like, yeah. I'm like, yo, no shackles, just go. They're like, yeah. You know, I got the brown suit on, but it's cool. So anyway, I get there. I finally get my public defender, and she told me straight up, you know, she said, I'm gonna tell you this on the phone before I come visit you. I don't argue frivolous stuff. I don't argue meritless stuff. She said, now, I looked over your entire transcripts from your trial. You have nothing coming. You asked me to argue that, I'm recusing myself. I said, oh, I like your little spiciness.
Yeah.
I said, well, guess what? I read through the trial transcripts too, and I don't see shit that's gonna get me back in court. Right. I said, they got me nailed, dead, nail a tooth with the conspiracy. Ain't nothing I could do about that.
Yeah.
We gotta argue what they did wrong.
Right.
They got me on conspiracy. I'm gonna say I didn't know these guys was doing whatever. Even though conspiracies laws are ambiguous and they're very hard to understand because they put little words, extra words in there for you to, okay, reasonably available.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So they make it so it's in their favor. But tough law to beat because there's no set in stone thing. It's conspiracy, right? You catching me and him with nothing.
Right.
With a conspired crime.
Right.
That hasn't happened yet sometimes. Right. So she tells me she's not arguing that. I'm like, cool. I said, but listen, that manuscript I gave you, you're gonna argue every single thing in there, or if not, then I'm gonna recuse you myself.
Yeah.
So she said, okay, I'm gonna read it. So just so happened, I didn't know she got at Marty Dietz, my old lawyer, and asked him like, yo, where's this guy coming up with this shit? Rule 41B. Mind you, when I said that in the courtroom, nobody heard of it. Nobody heard of it. Then I fired the first lawyer because when he went to go state it in my reconsiderations where they made me feel like I was begging him for something, it's another thing I turned up on him. That's another reason why. He said to me, he said in the courtroom, Your Honor, they violated Rule 40B. He said 40. The prosecution laughed at him. They said, Your Honor, he's not even stating it the correct way. It's Rule 41B. And I don't know where Mr. Drew got this thing from. Yeah. I don't know where I got it from. I know it was something. I stuck on it. I said, oh, I got you here. I don't know. We're going to see what this is about. You know, so those were the two things I got him on. So I told her, you're going to argue all of this. And she said, cool. She had spoke to Marty, and Marty said, yes. Every single thing he has in there, I told him the same thing. If it stands up, I'll argue. If it don't, get out of my face. Everything stands up. And first thing I asked her for was a prosecution brief from one of my homeboys from Pittsburgh who had similar case, but he already going through his appeal process. I'm a strategist. I want his prosecutor's brief so I can see how they're gonna approach us. For sure. Because they used his brief and all they did was slandered his character. They didn't put no facts in there. And that's how the appellate division scored in his favor. See, the Supreme Court, they're not supposed to deal with morality and all of that stuff, like discretion. No, it's by law and that's it. But the appellate court, they might like Ash Cash. They might say, you know, what you did with him, I don't like that. And then rule, you know, in the favor of the government. They have that power. So the whole point was, by him telling her, like, listen, this dude points is what it is, and don't miss none of them. There's no moot points here. She took that, she read it, she came back. She never told me she spoke to him. She said, let's rock. So I said, let's rock. I meant to bring that blue book in here to you today. I still got that, the brief that got me home. We'll do it one day. Yeah, so we put the brief in. I kept telling people 2.5 years, 2.5 years. Funny story I'm gonna tell you real quick. My daughter comes to visit me. Now, mind you, all this is happening.
She how old now?
My daughter's now 12.
Okay.
For 3 months, she didn't know I was locked up. I didn't let nobody tell her. And I'm mad I did that. To this day, that messed us up. She said everybody made her seem like she was dumb because she was 10. And she said, to this day, part of me don't like them people who told me that because of that. So 3 months, finally I get indicted. I can't hide from it. I get on the phone like a baby. I'm crying. First time. They told me life, I ain't cry. I'm crying now because I got to tell this 10-year-old girl I ain't coming home right now. I thought I was going to bail out from Jersey and bail out there and be able to get home, you know. So anyway, she comes to visit me 3 years later. I told her mother, bring her up here. Let me tell her how much time I got. Her mother tells her anyway. So she comes up. As soon as she get in the visit hall, she's crying. It's contagious. Other people start crying. So I'm like, come here. Like, what are you crying for? She told you already? She like, yeah, she told me. So my mother there with her. My mother crying. I'm like, what you crying for? You already knew. You know? What are you crying for? You already knew this. I said, what your mother tell you? She told me you got sniffling. I said, look at me, both of y'all. Wipe them tears, because that don't help nobody. I said, I'm coming home, and I'll be home in 2 years. She said, how you know? I said, I don't know. I'll be home in 2 years. I really didn't know why I was saying 2 years. Literally, I came home in 2 years. Not only did I come home in 2 years, I got that decision that I was coming home on her birthday.
Now you gotta tell me you was excited.
Oh,
I ain't
man.
trying to hear.
Bro, when they first told me, I won, before I even told them, I didn't react.
Okay.
Because I've been fighting so long that I expected that to happen. I convinced, even if you told me no, my whole thing is it don't cost me nothing to think that this is gonna work. You gotta trick yourself when you talk about laws of attraction. I had a homeboy come and offer me a clemency application. I said, get that shit out of here. Right. He said, why? I said, I'm gonna get my own clemency. He said, man, put it in. 4 months. he was bothering me about that clemency application. Till finally he showed me somebody that caught a case where you originally from, Virginia, that's from my town.
Yeah.
And he had a shitload of time. I said, just coming home? He said, I told you, put it in. I said, I'm not putting nothing in. So then I decided, Sam, if this really works the right way, then you jinxing yourself. How about you put it in? It can't nothing stop what's about to happen with you. Put it in.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how these people work, Ash. I put in the clemency. Obama letting everybody go. About 2 months later, I get my decision. A month after that, I go to court. I got my clemency in now. I did what 808 told me to do. Shout out to 808. I put my clemency in. I go to court 3 months later to give back my time. Do you know the clemency response was waiting for me in a whole nother jail because you got to go back to your sentencing jail to get sentenced. I'm no longer in Fairton. I went back up to Ohio, and I'm there for 3 weeks. Jokers threw me a party because nobody fights them. They had sweatsuits. They had tuna fish wraps. You didn't even know they make tuna fish wrap in jail. They had pizza. They had apple pies. You didn't know they make that either, right? Yeah. They had a brand new sweatsuit and sneakers for me like, yo, bro. And my co-defendant was still there. The one they told on that allowed me to be able to still, he was still there. He the one who organized the party, you know? And crazy part about it is, right? So 3 months, I get the decision. I tell him, yeah, I take the 7, right? It didn't really hit me until one day I was running the track and I was listening to Ace Hood with Jasmine Sullivan. People said I wouldn't make it. It's like every negative thing I heard. And brothers ain't doing it on purpose. I actually spoke to the negative dudes on purpose. I need to vet my own shit. I need to make sure that this is foolproof. Only way for you to do that is to have some courage and go let somebody vet it, bro. Stop thinking you got every answer. Go let somebody tell you no, that ain't gonna work.
Right.
Who I go to? Joe Crack. Man, I don't know, Sam. This shit ain't gonna work. All right, Crack, thanks. Appreciate you. I need that fuel.
Yeah.
So when I heard that song, that's when it hit me that I won. I just started crying. The youngest from DC, like, yo, what's up, OG? You good? I said, man, I just gave back that 22 years.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
It just hit me like that. And then it was right back to business. Okay, get your stock market back on. Now you got the RDAP program. Now you got to come home. Now it's about the plan.
Yeah.
Now it's all about the plan. How you going to plan to come home? But the thing about it is this, man. Not only did it happen in 2 years, it happened on my daughter's birthday. I have a video getting released from Fort Dix on that little girl's birthday. Man. So that conversation that day with them with those tears in their eyes, and my mother said to me too when I got home, she said, yo, you know the first time you said it on the phone with your auntie, I believed you, right? She said, my son different. He gonna come home.
Yeah.
She said, I don't know nothing about that Fed stuff. I know how hard you said it was, but I also knew you gonna come home.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened, man.
That's a hell of a journey, yo.
Yeah.
Whew, the power.
Accountability.
But your optimism is on like 1,000. Your optimism is on like 1,000.
Oh, it has to be.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So is
It's
you
on
know,
like
that's why I
1,000.
start listening to him in the morning.
Yeah.
Because in the morning when I'm not feeling optimistic, I go to him and he can't help it, man.
Yeah.
So he either gonna get on your nerves or you gonna use him as strength.
Right, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's it, bro. He was doing that. That's why I said, why you don't do that in the morning? You was saving a lot of lives with that.
Yeah.
You know, keeping a lot of people on point. It's time you go back to that, man. Your little book reading in the morning, man.
Yeah, I need to.
At least once a week, man.
Yo, it's crazy because I meet people all the time that, and as crazy as it is, like I got the other podcast, Inside the Vault, that's been seen millions of times. I get more people telling me that, yo, in the morning times, man. Like I had somebody tell me I saved their life.
Bro, I'm dead serious, bro.
They was going, you know what I mean? Like they was like, so I mean, they know who they are.
Then it's your voice, your energy.
Yeah,
you ain't boring. You ain't putting us to sleep. You got that voice that just, you know, that Harlem bravado about you. You feel what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna get back to it,
man.
In fact, you know, one of the things that I promised myself I'm gonna do is, you know, get my own studio and really like do it the right way. So
definitely,
for sure, 1,000%, man.
Definitely,
yes, I'm on that. And so, fast forward, bro. You out. You killing it with options. You are helping people with that. I know it started inside.
Yes.
Talk to us about, Wise Money.
Wise Money came about because I came up with that name when I first got to Ferriton. Older guy was back on a probation violation. In the feds, they'll bring you straight back to your home jail if you violate probation. So he said, hey, youngin, you ever been in the feds before? I said, nah. He said, I could tell because you looking around like you fascinated. I said, yeah, it's clean as hell in here. He was just like, yeah, man. He was like, well, I'm going to tell you like this. Long story short, he told me, I'm going to tell you like this. This could be one of two things. This could be a playground or this could be your university. If you're a fool, it's going to be your playground. If you're a wise man, it's going to be your university. I already knew it was going to be my university.
Yeah, for sure.
So then as we walked the compound, once I started learning, it was a guy up there named Gershon Clark. We all called him Wall Street, not Wall Street Trapper. Shout out to Wall Street Trapper. But this was actually older Wall Street that taught me. Black guy, just like me and Trap Story, come from he been selling kilos and doing the market the whole time. Now he's in jail. And he's teaching everybody. 25 at a time, they're allowing him to hold this program in the educational building. So I'm going up there. I'm going to get it in, pen and pad every day. But what was ironic is I met a friend of mine who I was actually in state prison with that first time that I told y'all I went.
Yeah.
He's from Camden, New Jersey. It's ironic because in the feds, Jersey's population is this big. Mind you, I told you my town don't see feds.
Right.
Trenton, Newark, Jersey City, Camden, they see the feds. So I see him. And mind you, this is a guy that when we were in there together, he a little older than me, but we be on our elevation shit. So I see him, he got this mesh bag, he just walked, they had this, we call it the Shake Shack. So when you walk through the Shake Shack, it's like a little hut, but you gotta go through there, police is in there with the metal detectors. So people walk in, it's traffic, two-way traffic this way, everybody go through the Shake Shack. I see him with this mesh bag with books in it. I'm like, where am I? Why you got a bag, bro? What is going on in this place? Like, this is my first time here. So he like, bro, I'm going to the stock market class. They told me you was down here. I'm like, stock market class? So I know him to always be on some type of elevation.
Something,
right?
yeah.
And he was like, yeah, bro, it's up here. I'm late, but the guy who runs it, he's on your unit. I found him, got onto him, went to that class about 6 times. Went to that class and wrote that class down in a notebook like 6 more times. And then I just started studying from there, getting every bit of information I could. I said, this is what's gonna be it.
Yeah.
I said, I got the case, I got this is how I'm gonna stay home. This is how I'm gonna feed myself.
Right.
I fell in love with it, man. The people I met along my journey with it. So the guys would see me, my man A, in Wall Street, right? Gershon Clark, walking the pound every day. They think we talking stocks. Gershon keep asking me, how are you learning stocks and fighting the feds? This is what he asks me every morning.
Yeah.
And he always say, brother, God bless you. He already did that, brother. God, I want God to use his time on somebody else. I got this. He gave me what I need. He gave me what I need. That's what he say every morning. But the young guys will see us and be like, they go to wise men. Because they all know you studying stocks.
Right.
They all been in and around the class.
Yeah.
So that's how that whole thing started. And I when I came home, I said, yo, we should start a show called The Three Wise Men. It'd be me and you, and we bring a third person on that knows something about the market or whatever.
Right.
Then from there, I just said, me and him couldn't see eye to eye on teaching.
Right.
And then he challenged me and kind of said that I couldn't teach without him. And I'm saying in my head, like, what do you think you taught me for? Just because I'm coming to you saying be the teacher is because I love the way you teach. It's not because I can't teach.
Right, yeah.
So I don't like challenges like that. In fact, I do. But the people who challenge me shouldn't like them because now, fast forward, look who's teaching.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah.
look who's teaching.
Yeah.
Don't tell me I can't do something.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen,
Yeah.
Yeah, I even tell you, man, but them people, man, when I left and went back with my mother that night, that family was crazy, bro. Nah, listen, I was 7
You
years
talking
old.
about when you bounced
Yeah, I
from
just
and
thought
walked
about
through
this.
the
'cause
whole
you-
joint?
Yeah, because you just said something to me. He just said something to me about, he said, bro, that's still you, who you was when you left that foster
Nah,
home.
for
and went to-
sure.
Nah, but it's something else to that. They left me and went to Atlantic City.
That's crazy.
We live in Jersey City, bro. Atlantic City is 2.5 hours, 3 hours away.
That's crazy.
Every weekend we used to go to Atlantic City. My badass went and stayed at my man Anthony's house down the street.
Wow.
No permission. Nah, I'm tired of y'all. They had money, but they was some drunks. They turned into somebody else at night.
Yeah.
Like they turned into drunk. Like they nice people had money, and then at night they just turned into some drunks.
Angry
so I'm like,
drunks.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not going to Atlantic City with them this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm staying out at Anthony house. So I go to Anthony house not knowing. I knew I was going to spend the night without permission. I came back to that house, knocking on that door, nobody in there. I'm 7, bro.
Yeah.
That's why I went to my mother.
Ah.
That's how I got to my mother.
Okay.
I came into her, I said, Ma, they went somewhere. It's a long ride. I don't know where they be going, but we go every weekend. And they left me. They left me in the house, man. They left a 7-year-old kid, man.
They didn't care.
They didn't care at all.
But neither
bro.
did you. You
two
bounced.
black people, bro.
That's crazy.
Older black people. This black man, you could tell he was a retired guy who he had a shed with his things. He had a house down in Atlantic City. They wasn't doing bad, bro, especially for living in Jersey City where they lived at.
Yeah.
But I noticed one thing back then. Black people had money in Jersey City. I already gave y'all another example with the other lady.
Said the Cadillac and all that 3-story crib.
Forget about it.
Yeah. The one thing, so watch this. This is my first time meeting you, man. It's been a pleasure. It's been a real honor.
Same here.
Your energy, I'm an energy guy. A lot of people starting to say that, and it's pissing me off because they not. You know what I mean? They really
they
not.
Just saying what
they just be like, hey, how you? And they want to be friends with everybody. I ain't never been like that.
Yeah.
But your energy is like mine. You know what I mean? You got this jousting period when you first meet somebody. I already peeped it, right? It ain't like you're trying to be comfortable, but you just trying to figure out what's what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just listening to your whole journey, especially how you picked this up from 7 years old to me meeting you right now, I just appreciate your journey. I appreciate how you shared your story. I want you to teach me. We're gonna talk about that a little off camera, but everything you said, man, I just appreciate the vulnerability pieces that you added to the story as well. And I think a lot of people that's going to watch this is going to get a lot out of it, man.
I hope
and
they
I
do,
think
man.
that's the purpose of we bringing you here and we interviewing you, but we really didn't interview you. We really had a conversation with you.
It was
You know
dope.
what I mean?
It was dope. I'm glad y'all was able to draw that out of me. Like I had a conversation with him. I said, Cash, it's a dope one, man, if you could draw it out.
Yeah.
I go on, it's too many different parts. I'd be all over the place. It wouldn't make sense to people.
Yeah.
And he said, yo, I got you.
Yeah, for sure.
He said, I got you.
Too easy.
Dope.
Yeah,
Too easy. Easy work. Easy work.
Yeah.
I got one last question, all right? Our brothers and sisters who might be behind the wall watching this right now, brothers and sisters who just came home, knowing that you are the wizard, as it relates to the markets. What's some advice that you would give them, now that they're home or they're about to come home, on how to get into the markets and really build financial freedom for themselves?
Well, the first thing I would say is just open a brokerage account. They don't care about your background. They don't care about your credit score. As long as you weren't incarcerated for stealing money. If you were in there for stealing money, they probably won't let you get a brokerage account. Then in that case, you got to get it in a nephew, a niece, or somebody like that, your kid. But get the brokerage account. Definitely tap into me at Wise Money Academy on Instagram. You can also tap into therealmoneyexperience.com. I got a bunch of free literature on there. And I think the best thing I could say to people just coming home is I hope you didn't just wait to come home to change. I hope your change started in there. And if you in there, which a lot of y'all are in there, gonna be watching this, the change starts in there. The change starts with you replacing some of the computer programs you done uploaded into your brain. The change comes with you choosing to be around individuals that are conducive to what you're trying to do. The change comes from you knowing that you wasn't the best father, because the best fathers don't make these type of decisions. And change comes from accountability, man.
Yeah.
We know what the system did. We know what they did. We know what trap was laid, but we gotta know our part. I gotta know how I ended up here, because there were other people subject to the same trap and they didn't experience what I've experienced. So it's obvious the decisions I made weren't conducive to living a prosperous life, a desirable life. So that's my one thing. Be accountable, have a plan before you get out here, and be humble. You're not who you used to be. You know, depending on what you are, we always revert back to, you know, or always refer to drug dealers. Some people are stone cold bank robbers. Some people stone cold thieves, kleptomaniacs, you know. You never know what somebody's crime is, but the criminal mindset is the criminal mindset.
Right.
Yeah.
How you use it is on you.
Yeah.
So I would just say to anybody, the greatest lesson you're going to learn in jail is not all of those books you read. It's the one you learn about yourself. If you don't understand you, how you tick, how you work, and how you ended up there, you're going to come back.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
No, that's fire.
All right, y'all. Look, another powerful episode. Crime pays. We are literally showing you how to thrive beyond the wall. I am Ash Cash, the financial motivator.
I'm Jay White, first name, last name. What am I? The #1 federal government contracting coach and mentor, yo.
Listen, y'all, we're going to see y'all same time, same place. Make sure y'all share, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. All the description to Santino stuff is in the description. But we'll see y'all next time, same place. God's will. Peace.